says in the fight against ISIS, sharing information on common threats is appropriate, defending his now controversial meeting with Russia's foreign minister and ambassador last week.
We're going to have a lot of great success over the next coming years, and we want to get as many to help fight terrorism as possible.
His national security advisor, H.R. McMaster, won't confirm whether classified information was disclosed, but he denies a report that anything discussed jeopardizes sources, methods, or security. White House spokesman Sean Spicer condemning leaks about the meeting.
The idea that someone who has been given access to information is pushing that information out into the media is undermines our national security, and I don't think there's any other way to say it than it is frankly dangerous.
Democrats want transcripts from the meeting.
The allegation is that the president discussed a threat to the country from ISIS with sufficient detail that the Russians could determine what the source or method of gathering that intelligence was.
Congressman Adam Schiff, who's on the House Intelligence Committee, calls the administration's response a non-denial denial. The White House not confirming reports that Israel was the source of the information reportedly disclosed to the Russians. The Israeli ambassador to the U.S. says Israel has full confidence in its intelligence sharing relationship with the U.S. In the search for a new FBI chief, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says he recommended the White House consider former Supreme Court nominee Merrick Garland.
Deeply credentialed in criminal justice and criminal justice enforcement. Completely apolitical.
McConnell says he's optimistic the eventual nominee will be someone like that, though he says the president apparently isn't interested in Garland. Today, Texas Senator John Cornyn became the latest potential contender to withdraw from consideration after Congressman Trey Gowdy did the same. You're listening to Fox News Radio, fair and balanced.
Summer involves a lot of driving, to camp, to work, to soccer, back home to grab what they forgot, and then back to soccer again. So wouldn't you like to know your car is up for it? Enter Hum by Verizon. Now you can check your car's health from your phone with vehicle diagnostics, drive with more peace of mind thanks to 24/7 emergency assistance, and let the kids stream and game on the go with your car's own Wi-Fi hotspot. Get Hum and get where you're going. Learn more at hum.com. Verizon Wi-Fi available on Hum X only. Data usage applies. Coverage not available everywhere. Visit vzw.com for availability.
Ready for a new tractor? At LS Tractor, we'll be the first to tell you to shop and compare. That's right, shop our competition. We're that confident that the LS Tractor combination of more standard features, better performance, competitive price, and proven commitment to customer satisfaction deliver value that's unequaled by another tractor. Period. Want more tractor for your money? Look around. You'll see there's one that gives it to you. LS Tractor. Excel in your field. Learn more at lstractorusa.com.
Another battle in the South over another Confederate monument, this time in Florida, where there's a plan to move a statue to the Confederate section of a historic cemetery.
Angry outbursts outside Orlando City Hall over demands to move a statue memorializing Confederate soldiers away from the city's picturesque Lake Eola Park. Buddy Dyer is Orlando's mayor.
That we move the statue to a more appropriate location, which is Greenwood Cemetery.
With a historic Confederate section, other cities like New Orleans and Charlottesville, Virginia, are relocating Confederate monuments as debate persists over whether the markers commemorate hate or history.
Are you going to rewrite the history book, too, and tear out pages? I don't think so.
The History Center, you put in the landfill.
In Miami, Eben Brown, Fox News.
A string of suicides prompts one Colorado school district to take action.
The book 13 Reasons Why was written in 2007, but it wasn't until Netflix produced the series that teens became fascinated.
Settle in, because I'm about to tell you the story of my life. More specifically, why my life ended.
School administrators in Mesa County say the series romanticizes suicide. 7 students in the Western Colorado district recently took their own lives. School board members hope to stop that trend by ordering the book be removed. That move prompted complaints from librarians throughout Colorado who say it's not their job to censor what teens read. They suggest parents use the story to talk to their kids about suicide.
Brenda Stewart of Fox Radio affiliate KOA in Denver. The school board and principal agreeing to return the book to school libraries after only a few hours. A mixed day on Wall Street. The Dow down 2 points, the S&P also lower, but the NASDAQ with another record close up 20 points, settling right around 6,169. Lisa Brady, Fox News Radio.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you comfortable all year long. Call 866-EXPERTS or you can visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Tonight, a low of 66 degrees, partly cloudy. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, high 86, a low of 68. The wind should die down a little bit. Thursday, a chance of thunderstorms, high 87, a low of 54. Right now, sunny, clear, but really windy all the way out to West Lafayette. It's 84 degrees in Champaign-Urbana.
See what you did there. It is the Tay and J Show. Lon Tay, Jeremy Warner. It is Tuesday, May 16th. Rolling through the week. Cardinal baseball back tonight right here on ESPN 93.5. And the Cubbies start their 10-game homestand. You'll hear that on 105.9 FM, our sister station. We're going to start today, though, not with baseball. We're going to talk some golf, some collegiate golf. Normally when we talk Illinois golf, Jeremy, it is nothing but positive. It is strictly talking about a team that continues to dominate like they did in the Big Ten tournament, like they did all season. This team by no means is in that much trouble, but they are in a little bit of trouble right now after 2 rounds at the NCAA Regional in West Lafayette. One more round of 18 to get into the next round, and it's going to be some work on Illinois' part.
They got a lot of work to do because today they did not have a good day in the windy West Lafayette golf course there, camping course right on the Purdue University campus. 8 over the team shot today. They are now in 6th place, 5 strokes behind a 3-way tie for 3rd, which includes Florida, Auburn, and home course Purdue. New Mexico leads right now at 6 under. They're sitting in a good spot. And then UNLV is 3 under as well. This just was a very rough day for Illinois golf. But we've seen this before.
Yes.
We've seen them coming. And by the way, the top 5 advance to the NCAA championship. So Illinois needs to get in that top 5. Right now, they're 5 strokes back of a 3-way tie for that 3rd place right now. So they have a lot of work to do going into tomorrow. But 5 strokes between 4 players can happen very quickly.
In a hurry.
Yeah, it can happen. I remember a couple years ago, Illinois was down 6 strokes or something like that. Within the first 4 holes, they were in the top 3.
Boom.
So
done.
it can happen. But you got to have your best golfers playing their best golf. And right now, Illinois doesn't have that. Nick Hardy's had a good tournament. Dylan Meyer had a phenomenal front 9 today. Shot a 4 under 32. But on the back 9, he shot 6 over.
Double 2 par 3s.
Yeah, 2 doubles. So they need Dylan Meyer to play like Dylan Meyer.
Right, exactly. There's a couple of things here that still give me confidence that this team will be fine. Number one is there's a better chance Illinois golf will have a better day tomorrow than they did today. In other words, 2 out of 3 days they're going to play elite golf. I can promise you that. So now, if maybe my promises will go unheard tomorrow, but the chances are if Illinois is ever going to have a downtick, it's going to be one day, and that happened today. I think tomorrow they will be fine. They'll put the heat on these other teams. Another thing that's interesting there is they're a blue blood, right? They're one of these teams, and we've talked to Lance Ringler about that. They're one of these teams that everybody looks around and goes, uh-oh, Illinois is there. And if you don't think these 3 teams ahead of them that they're chasing don't understand what's right behind them in the Fighting Illini, believe me, that will weigh on their mind tonight. And the other thing, last thing, is that what I like about this is you have 3 teams tied. That's 3 chances for one team to blow up tomorrow, and I mean blow up in a bad way, to allow Illinois to, even if you have to backdoor in, to get into this finals.
There might be some people saying out there, well, there's a young team.
Sure.
Right? And that's true. I mean, Tadioto is a youngin', but he's tied for 26. He's played pretty well.
Yes, he has.
I mean, he's given you, your 3rd best number in this tournament so far. Michael Fiegel's not having a good tournament whatsoever. So your 5th golfer is not contributing right now. That means Meyer and Hardy got to do their thing.
Yes.
And Hardy has so far. Meyer's done it through, 27 holes.
Right.
Had a really bad back. He can't do that tomorrow.
Nope.
He's got to be a top 10 golfer in the country tomorrow. The key to me is Eduardo Liparelli.
Correct.
Had a phenomenal first day. And then had a decent front 9, or didn't really, not even, 3 over on the front 9. Shot a 7 over today.
Yeah.
You can't have your 3rd golfer shooting a 79 in this kind of event, especially with your younger guys being out there. I mean, you have 3 guys with a lot of experience, especially Meyer and Hardy, but Liparelli played really well down the stretch for Illinois last year and allowed them to get to the Final Four again. He's the key.
He is.
Yeah, he's the key
I'm
to
with
this
you on
team
that.
to give you a solid score, and then you take whatever you get out of Tadioto and Fiegels, and then Hardy's having a good tournament.
Yes, he is.
As we expect. He shows up for these things.
He does.
Dylan Meyer can't have that back nine again.
And this is Meyer's home state. Don't forget. He's an Indiana kid, and I'm sure that plays a little bit into it. He's closer, I think, to Terre Haute, but he's one of these kids that I think will show up tomorrow and prove to Mike Small. And the other thing, Jeremy, that you think about, is there one guy better to know that these kids are listening to tonight than Mike Small?
Do you think Mike Small almost kind of enjoys his team being in this? It's not maybe not fun for him.
No, but he's going to coach tonight.
But it's a challenge for him. And Mike Small is not afraid of challenges. Nope. I think he embraces them.
I think you're right on that, and I hadn't thought of that, and that's kind of funny. But Mike Small will coach tonight. Yeah. He will coach. There's not much he can do when these kids are out on the course. He can set the lineup. He can set who he wants to start off. And I would almost assume tomorrow that a guy like Meyer and Hardy lead these guys off to get low scores posted early to give confidence to the freshmen in the back. But it is one of those situations where I'm not sure how much coaching he can actually do. What he's going to do is mentally prepare these guys and tell them exactly how good they are and how prepared they are to go in there and have a big round tomorrow.
Well, if they do have a big round tomorrow, we can thank Tay, right?
Right.
Because you and Luke you definitely are going, right?
Yes, I'm definitely going. I'm not sure yet about Lucas, and I don't know if we have to call him in sick. So maybe we don't probably need to broadcast although we just did.
You got something going on,
right?
I've
got a head cold, so I'm sure he's not feeling the best.
Still blowing the nose.
No, I thought it'd be a great chance, and we did that 2 years ago. We went over to Noblesville and watched the regional, and he and I had a blast. So I don't know. We're going to talk that over with Mom tonight and maybe the school to figure out. He's a good student, so I think it might not be a problem, but it is near the end of the year, so I'm not sure how that plays with finals and such.
That's a really cool thing for a golfer like your son to be able to go to that.
Yes.
I mean, so close, and it's a chance for Illini fans to go out there. I know Mike Small was saying that there's been a lot of Illini fans out there.
I mean, this is your best chance. This is as close as you'll ever get. Not ever. This is as close as you'll get to watching this Illini golf team. It's an hour and 15-minute drive or whatever it is to West Lafayette, hour and a half. The bigger issue is what you just looked at a minute ago. It's the elephant in the room, but it's actually just the equipment in the corner of the room, because when we do live remotes, Lon is seriously just the talent. And I don't mean that arrogantly. I just mean I just show up and start talking. I have no idea how to set this stuff up like you and Carp.
Well, you do kind of what I do with certain things around the house.
Right. I do enough.
No, well, you don't want to learn.
No.
Because then you're going to be expected to do it.
That's exactly right. That is exactly right.
You just decided, I'm not going to learn how to do that. I'll let Carp and Warner do that.
And see, back in the day, I didn't feel bad about it because I was only getting paid for 3 hours. I was an independent contractor. I show up, I get going. You and Carp were paid by SJ Broadcasting. Well, now you're an independent contractor, so now I feel bad when you're there early setting this up.
So why we're talking about this is because, one, we're thinking of maybe doing our show.
Which would be awesome.
Out there. But there's two things. We got to make sure we got connection.
Okay.
So you're going to do that in the morning.
I'm going to do that in the morning right after Stevie's show.
I imagine I'll get a call of, Jeremy, how do I do this? And then
can we
call
put
Scott,
A, B, C?
Call Scott first.
I'm calling Scott.
Okay, call Scott
I am
first.
calling Scott.
And then 2, will Illinois be in it? Will they be advancing?
What do we? I mean,
is it good for us to be out there after Illinois just lost its first?
Quite honestly,
what's it been 9 straight years?
I was
going to
say, I think that's right. I think that's right. I mean, the bigger story here would be them not making it. That would be the bigger story with us being there of Mike Small's team not making it.
And Josh Whitman has a decision to make.
I have said this 100 times, Josh. Somebody should be on the hot seat. No, I kid with that, obviously. But, yeah, I mean.
Last time they did advance
awkward.
Was 2007.
So you and I will make a decision by maybe 9 or 10 Central as to whether or not you're going to head over.
They should start pretty early. What, 7:45 Central Time?
Probably earlier than that now.
I would imagine 2 hours in, we're going to know whether they're even going to have a chance to.
I agree. That should get you. The guys should almost be done. The leaders should almost be done with their, not leaders, but the guys off first should be done with their first, or close to being done with their first 9, obviously. And yeah, I think we'd have a pretty good idea. But it is true, and I thought about that because the other part of this, it could either be the story of Illinois didn't make it, which is really strange, or Illinois had a fantastic day 3. Everybody's in a good mood. They're advancing. They're moving on. And you and I are there to talk to them. So, and the timing of it, we're not sure when they'll get done. So it's all kind of a risk, I guess. But the good news is I think I'm going to head over. I'll set things up. We'll see how that goes first, and then we'll see if we can get connection and roll from there.
We are going to talk a little bit of Illini softball today as well. We're going to have a couple players in studio.
Awesome.
We know Taylor Edwards out of Arcola is going to be one of them. They'll join us in studio at about 5:30. The NBA Draft Lottery is tonight.
Sixers.
Michael Weisenberg, NBADraft.net. We'll kind of preview what's at stake tonight and the top players in this draft. We'll also ask them about the Big Ten guys, maybe Malcolm Hill as well.
Do the Bulls have a shot at all at this thing?
I
mean, it's rare, right?
They can't win the lottery because they made the playoffs, right?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so
never mind.
They have the 16th pick.
Okay.
In the NBA draft. Yay.
Nothing
good.
like being right in the middle. At least with the Sixers stinking again.
Right, you're interesting
I get
right
excited about the lottery.
But in about 15 minutes, we're going to talk with Gabe DeArmond, PowerMizzou.com. There's the Illinois side of the Jeremiah Tillman news, and there's the Mizzou side. We'll ask Gabe about all that. Because I want to ask him just how much has changed in the last 2 months for Missouri basketball fans.
Just for fans, like tickets even.
Yeah.
I mean, how the excitement
quantifiably,
level.
How much excitement is there?
I cannot imagine. I'm trying to put into perspective if this has ever happened at Illinois with this kind of a surge.
Illinois basketball never got to that depth.
No, not at all.
Not in the modern era.
Nope.
Right?
Not at all.
No matter Gross, Weber, the end of the Henson era, the beginning of the Henson, maybe the beginning of it.
Maybe.
But it wasn't even that. I mean, Mizzou went from 2 seed in the NCAA tournament to winning, 9 games in 2 or 3 years.
They lost to Eastern Illinois. And that's, listen, go Panthers, right? But you lost to Eastern Illinois at home.
With all due respect.
With all due respect, comma. I mean, that's one of those situations where that thing had fallen fast and they had finished in the bottom of the SEC, 3 straight years. Kim Anderson did not get it done.
Absolute disaster.
No, and then you've got a guy that not only comes in, but he's got a team that could possibly be an NCAA tournament team.
Possibly. And this is where I found out on Twitter last night how much people are kind of overblowing this Mizzou thing. Mizzou has become relevant.
Yes, they have.
They are going to have a top 5 pick on their team. Right? Mm-hmm. Michael Porter Jr. is going to be a top 5 pick.
Amazing.
He's the number 1 recruit in the country. He's going to be great right away.
Right.
What else is around him?
Exactly. Now, didn't they bring in 4 or 2 4-star guards, I thought I read?
They have a couple nice guards coming in Jeremiah Tillman.
Okay.
But the roster they inherited.
Oh, is horrible because everybody left.
You guys have seen those rosters the last couple of years.
You've seen the roster, plus everybody left.
I mean, I had people on Twitter last night going, Lon, they're going to kill Illinois.
Oh, come on. No.
I'm like, well, maybe some random game, but the matchup actually is really good.
It should be.
I think it's going to be intriguing. Yes, Illinois needs to add a big man, but Illinois has the advantage on the guards, right?
Without a doubt. Without
on
a doubt.
On the perimeter, it's just, Tillman, who would you want more next year? Finke or Tillman? For 1 year?
Probably Finke.
I mean, Tillman gives you more of what Illinois needs right now, but if you're talking production,
Finke's going to produce.
Finke will score more next year.
Yeah.
But I think that's a toss-up. But when we're talking matchups, it's interesting. Finke and Black against a Jeremiah Tillman. But Tillman's going to be a freshman.
Right.
And I don't know if he's going to be great right away, guys.
Is, by the way,
he wasn't dominating high school basketball this last year.
This is not you and I now all of a sudden
Being
because
Homer.
he's not coming to Illinois ripping on him.
No, I think he's going to be a nice piece.
Yeah, you have said all along and cautioned us all along that, hey, Tillman might get here and average 8 points and maybe 5 boards or 10 points and maybe 6 boards, which would be just outstanding. So it's not that we're sitting here ripping on him now because he's going to be in Missouri.
I think he's a very nice piece on that team. But people are acting like him and Michael Porter Jr. by themselves make Mizzou some great team.
That's exactly right. And think about what Illinois, I'm already thinking about this. Now you got me in this mode. Think about what a Michael Finke, if he's out there checking him, what he can do to him.
Yes.
Finke's going to bring him out 19 feet. No, they don't. They automatically think of the other end.
Matchup issues you could have. And then if we're just talking in-game coaching.
Yes.
Who's got the advantage?
No doubt.
Come on.
No doubt. There's no doubt about it.
We've seen this with Konzo, right? And it's a lot more exciting for Mizzou fans than what had been the last. They'll take what Cal's been doing.
Absolutely.
Right? But if you're talking a team that's going to be great, no.
Keep in mind, at Cal, he had a couple of 5-star guards or guys, and they did not make the NCAA tournament.
And didn't have much around them.
No.
It was Charlie Moore and Yvonne Rabb this last year.
And that's
and a bunch of nothing.
Right. And that's what they're going to have now. I mean, you're asking a lot out of Porter as a freshman, and he's good.
He'll probably be an SEC first teamer.
Yes. Isn't that amazing?
You need more than just that, though.
Yep.
right? Like you need a lot more than that. And we've seen those Missouri basketball rosters the last couple of years.
I know.
They've been terrible.
Oh, it's been horrible.
Now, Illinois, I think they're both going to be bubble-ish teams.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Right?
I think that could be a team in the end of it could be a really important game because you may need to get that victory if you're either one because you may be head-to-head with that other team come March looking for an NCAA berth. So I think it is a very important game, but there's going to be a lot that changes with Illinois' roster between now and then.
I'm glad Austin threw that in there. The Bulls are rooting for two teams in the, bottom 4 of the lottery to get in the top 3 because the Kings, the Bulls would have their pick if it were number 11.
Okay.
So, you need 3 teams to hop. You need 3 teams to hop into the top 3, which isn't going to happen.
No, probably not. But it gives you a chance.
You're saying
it's a reason to pop some popcorn tonight, get some beer out, and watch the NBA lottery. And
God,
say,
we had that Kings pick forever, and now it just turns into a second-round pick. How depressing is that?
Well, haven't the Sixers had the Lakers pick for the last 5 years?
But they still have 2 or 3 years for it to be a first-rounder.
Okay.
Right?
The NBA that is one area where the NBA confuses me, but certainly we'll let Michael Weisenberg at 4:30 kind of explain that to us.
Yeah, the Boston Celtics advance to play the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I guess Kelly Olynyk had a heck of a night.
He did. 10 for 14
I
from
did
the
not
field.
watch 1 second of that game, but I kept looking at Twitter for other things, and all I saw was Kelly Olynyk.
Did Kelly play here for a game?
I think so.
We saw him for a game, didn't we?
We did.
I can't remember if we saw him at the end of the Sacre era.
I think
Sacre,
that's right.
Elias
Robert
Harris,
Sacre.
David Stockton.
Man, they had the same guys forever.
Yeah, those are good teams. Illinois won, 3 of them?
Mm-hmm.
Remember those days?
I do remember those days. Who was the one guy that just blew up? He was a transfer. He blew up that game against Gonzaga here. He had 24 points. Somebody will know it.
Guard?
No, it was a kind of a forward.
Elias Harris?
No, for Illinois.
Oh.
It was an Illinois guy.
Dominique Keller?
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. 24 points, I think, for Keller.
With the flickerdoodle shot? That's what Bruce Weber used to call it, the flickerdoodle.
We were at the Arc. Lucas and TJ Wheeler and I coached a little travel basketball team. We were at the Arc, and TJ and I were watching that going, Dominique Keller cannot miss. I'm like, did you ever think you'd say that?
Dominique Keller worked out
good.
A lot better than Rodney Alexander.
Without a doubt.
Out of those JUCO targets.
Without a doubt.
Worked a lot better. So Boston moves on to play Cleveland, who they'll lose to, and the Warriors will beat the Spurs, and then we'll get our finals that we've wanted all along.
Finally, Cleveland has somebody to go up against.
Cardinals tonight start a 2-game series against the Boston Red Sox. It's fun.
Yeah.
A little fun between Cardinals and Red Sox.
I'm excited about it.
Eduardo Rodriguez against Lance Lynn. You can hear it here loud and clear on ESPN Radio 93.5.
This I know, Lance Lynn will have 100 pitches by the 5th inning. We know that. Here's the other thing I know. They'll be in the game. It might be 2-1. They might be ahead 3-0. You might be up 1-0. Lance Lynn for 5 innings will keep you in the game, but he'll have 100 pitches by the 5th.
It's a fun week in St. Louis, man.
Right?
Cubs and Red Sox.
Without a doubt.
That's good stuff. The Cubs, meanwhile, begin a 3-game series against the Reds. This is the start of their 10-game homestand. Time to beat some teams. The Reds, the Brewers, the Giants. What are you made of, Cubs?
The look of disgust on Austin's face right there.
It's amazing.
Here we go.
It's amazing. You win a World Series, then you lose 7-9. That World Series fades pretty quickly, doesn't it?
You know what? I don't like. Stevie J and I were out in the hallway. We were thinking, maybe Theo ought to just break it up now. Just break it, tear it all down. And
I got
start
you on
over.
Moncada if you want him. Get a trade together. Blow it up
Start
again.
working something here for Schwarber and
I'm sure
such.
Stevie's throwing out Lance Lynn a lot.
Matt Adams as well.
No, Matt Adams.
Of course. Of course.
So the Cubs begin that series. Win 7-10.
Yes.
Right?
You kind of need to do that. I'm not saying it's panic mode, but you've got teams coming in that are so beatable.
At home.
Go 7-3 on you go 7-3 or better on this homestand, you are just fine.
If you want to weigh in, 359-2255, that's 217-359-2255. You can call the Jupiters at the Crossing phone line or text the Cheap Hour text line at 359-2255. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Just search Tay and J Show. I tweet at J Warner Scout.
At Lonte, ESPN CU.
Watch us live on YouTube. Just search Tay and J Show, or you can download our app. We have one of those. Just download the WSJK app, and you can listen to us wherever you are with your smartphone in the world. Get the podcast at espncu.com or find us in iTunes. That's all powered by GTPS Insurance. Our interns today, Harry Black and Austin Berkland.
Answer me one question before break. David Ortiz did retire, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank goodness. It's the Tay and J Show.
Game Day Spirit, the official fan store of the Fighting Illini, presents the new Illini shirt jerseys. Available in youth and adult sizes, these highly anticipated Illini shirt jerseys will be released as a limited edition product at the Illini-Iowa men's baseball game Friday, May 19th, or get yours in store. The Illini shirt jersey is an exact replica of the jersey the team will be wearing during the game. So come get yours May 19th with Game Day Spirit Fan Store. Go Illini! Mosquitoes can be a nuisance, and after a mild winter like we had, they're even worse. Let Prairie View Landscaping get rid of those pesky mosquitoes so you can enjoy the summer outdoors without bugs getting in the way. And since it's Prairie View Landscaping's 25th year in business, they're celebrating by offering up to 25% off their mosquito program. Email mypvdiscount@gmail.com for a free quote. mypvdiscount@gmail.com. And if you sign up by May 31st, you can win 2 free mosquito control applications out of 4. Prairie View Landscaping, mypvdiscount@gmail.com.
Got a question? Talk to our experts now at steviejay.com. Experts are there, ready to answer your questions for free. Home improvement question. Our experts from Land, Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing can help. Need help with home remodeling? Talk to our service experts from Flooring Services, where the world is at your feet. Need to pay for those home improvements? Talk to our financial experts from the U of I Community Credit Union. They are the Stevie J Broadcasting experts. Ask an expert today at steviejay.com. That's steviejay.com.
From buyers and sellers inspections before the sale, protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. We also provide radon testing with results back in 48 hours. From Champaign to Savoy and Gifford to Gibson City, protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. Get more details and schedule your inspection today at aamarshall.net.
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkland with your 3:30 Sports Center update brought to you by Prairie View Landscaping. Email mypvdiscount@gmail.com for a free quote. That's mypvdiscount@gmail.com. Illini Golf was in action today to start day 2 of the NCAA Regionals from West Lafayette, Indiana, and they are currently placed 6th with the top 5 teams advancing to the NCAA Finals. They are 5 shots out of that 5th place spot beneath Florida, Purdue, and Auburn. Best individual score was Nick Hardy with a total of 143. They will tee off tomorrow for the final day of regional play. Nate Shieldhouse is now an on-the-road recruiter for a temporary time at least, while Coach Hardy Nickerson is recovering from an emergency appendectomy surgery. Once Hardy is healthy, Shieldhouse will no longer be on the road, but the NCAA will allow a 10th assistant on-the-road recruiting staff member effective January 9th, so keep an eye out on Nate. St. Louis Cardinals begin a 2-game series against the Boston Red Sox for some interleague action from Busch Stadium. The pitching matchup is Eduardo Rodriguez for the Red Sox and Lance Lynn for the Cardinals. Lynn gave up 4 runs in his last start, but it still has a good ERA of 2.75. Game time is at 7:15 with pregame starting at 6:25. Hear all the action on this radio station, ESPN CU 93.5. The Cubs dropped 2 of 3 to the Cardinals over the weekend, and they come back home for a 10-game homestand at Wrigley Field. It starts tonight against the Cincinnati Reds. It's 2 old guys on the mound tonight, Bronson Arroyo for the Reds and John Lackey for the Cubs. Chicago will have to watch out for Joey Votto. He has a .317 career batting average at Wrigley Field with 13 homers, 29 doubles, and 48 RBIs in 78 games. Game time is 7:05. The White Sox fell the Angels last night. Mike Trout went deep for his 12th homer of the year. They battle up tonight. Nice, it's Holland versus Ramirez, and the Boston Celtics advance to the Eastern Conference Finals. And that, my friends, is the update.
Thank you, Austin. Rock out with the realtor that rocks Saturday, May 20th. That's this Saturday in Effingham. That's right, Stephanie Pratt with Coldwell Bankier. The real estate group is hooking up one lucky listener with free tickets to see Vince Neil.
Yeah, baby.
Of the Crew, Motley Crue. Plus, you'll be treated to a ride to and from the show with Bishop Platinum Limousine. Sign up for your chance to win and get show information now at espncu.com. Grand prize winner will be selected tomorrow, so get registered today online at espncu.com.
He is Jeremy Warner. I'm Lon Tay. It's the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Michael Weisenberg at 4:30. Get us ready for the draft. Lottery. That's what I'm thinking of. And then at 5:30, excited to bring in a couple of softball players from Illinois. We'll talk to them about the NCAA tournament coming up.
But right now, let's head to the Jupiters of the Crossing phone line. Don't forget, Tuesdays get half off large pizzas all day at Jupiters of the Crossing. We reacted to the expected Jeremiah Tillman news, but it's time to get the other side of the Jeremiah Tillman news.
And we welcome in on the Jupiters of the Crossing phone line, Gabe DeArmond from PowerMizzou.com. Gabe, how are you, sir?
Not bad, guys. What's going on?
Not too much.
How much can we quantify how excited Mizzou basketball fans are about their program, how much it's changed the last 2 months, Gabe?
180 degrees. I mean, I've had people ask me, can you think of a bigger turnaround? And I really can't, not like in an off season without playing a game. The only thing I can compare it to is maybe back like in 1998 when the Rams were, they were garbage and had been one of the worst teams in the league, and then their starting quarterback gets hurt, and all of a sudden they go out and win a Super Bowl. But that was like on the field. I haven't seen anything like these last couple months just from the depths Missouri's been to where they're at now.
Did you ever get to the point, I did, and I'm not a Missouri fan, I got to the point sitting here on the radio show one day saying, I don't know how they get out of this hole. I mean, I have no idea how they get out of this. I don't know who they hire. Kim Anderson was a Missouri guy. I wasn't excited about the hire. I'm not saying that, obviously looking at it now, I made the right call there, but I just thought to myself, how are they going to get out of this thing? And then boom, they got out of it.
Well, the only reason I didn't is because I don't ever think you're that far away from getting out of it in basketball. It was actually the morning before Conzo Martin became official. My recruiting guy had posted on our message board, hey, I've talked to some people, and Michael Porter wants to come back. And that may be regardless of what happens with Lorenzo Romar and all that. And so at that point, you kind of thought, hey, if they make the right hire here and they can get Porter, this thing can turn around pretty quickly.
Good call.
And obviously all the pieces really fell into place. But I really thought, and this was one of the biggest arguments against Kim Anderson, is like there's no such thing as a 4 or 5 year turnaround in college basketball. It shouldn't take that long. You should never be more than 2 or 3 years away from the NCAA tournament if you hire the right guy.
Gabe, it is not ridiculous to expect Michael Porter Jr., the likely top 5 NBA draft pick, maybe even number 1, to be great right away. What kind of impact do you think Jeremiah Tillman can make right away?
Well, I think Tillman he really fits what this team needs in that he is tall and capable of being decent at basketball, which is something they did not really have on the team last year. But, he's a guy that it's defense and rebounding. I really think the outlook for him year one is go get us 6 or 7 rebounds a game, put a couple of them back in the basket, and block a couple shots. If they can get 6 points and 7 rebounds out of him a game next year, I think that's fine because they've got guys that are going to take shots. I mean, Jordan Barnett's going to shoot the basketball. Obviously, Michael Porter's going to shoot the basketball. Jonte Porter's going to shoot the basketball if he ends up being a part of this thing, as we expect him to by the end of the summer. So Tillman he'll be asked to fill a role in year one, and I don't think anybody views him as like a one-and-done type player. He's a 3 or 4 year college basketball player that you hope by the time he's a junior has, a game on both ends of the floor. But he's defense and rebounding year one, and I think he's got a chance to start. I'm not sure it's a slam dunk, but he'll definitely be in the rotation. I'm just not sure if it'll be starting 5.
Yeah, and Gabe, you mentioned that because I think Missouri has 2 other 6'10" guys, right, that are there. Talk a little bit about that front line and what he'll be joining.
Well, I mean, their centers are Reed Nicko, who had hip surgery his senior year in high school and didn't show a ton last year, and then Mitchell Smith, who the kid out of Arkansas, he's 6'11", but and I'm not exaggerating, he's like 210. I mean, he is rail thin and tore his ACL last year. So Tillman, I think, is clearly the best 5-man, the best big man they have. But again, Jonte Porter may reclassify and join this class, and if he does, I mean, look, Jonte's 6'11", Michael Porter 6'10", Jordan Barnett 6'7", Kevin Puryear 6'7". So they're not a small team. It'll really become then, how does Conzo Martin want to play? Does he want to play with Jeremiah Tillman on the floor as a true center? Does he want to play, with Jonte Porter, a guy who can step out and is a little bit more skilled than Jeremiah Tillman is. Where are you going to play Michael Porter? He can play anywhere from the 2 to the 4. He really even theoretically could probably be your big man in certain situations. So he'll have a lot of options next year.
We're talking with Gabe DeArmond, PowerMizzou.com. Follow him on Twitter at Gabe DeArmond. So 8-24 last year, 2-16 in the SEC. They finished at the bottom of the SEC the last 3 years. How big of a turnaround do you think this could be in 2017-18?
Well, I think the goal is pretty clearly, I've said, wear the home uniforms on the first weekend of the NCAA tournament in the first round. The goal for this program now clearly is be in the tournament in year one. I know the biggest SEC turnaround that anybody can find is like a 15-game improvement. I've looked up the biggest turnarounds in college basketball history, and the biggest one I could find, Ohio State went from 8 wins one year to 27 in the Final Four. I think that was when they had Michael Redd and Scooney Penn. I mean, Vegas has Missouri right now as like the number 10 favorite to win the national title. That's a little ridiculous. It's, I think, taking advantage of, just people's excitement and all the buzz they've received in the offseason. But the goal is clearly top 4 in the SEC, be an NCAA tournament team.
Who are the guards on this team? Because that front line is very, very talented. But what do they have at the guard positions?
Well, Terrence Phillips was one of the SEC leaders in assists last year. I still think he's going to be the starting point guard. I mean, to be one of your conference's leaders in assists on one of the worst shooting teams in America is fairly impressive, to be quite honest. They've got Blake Harris, the kid coming in. He's a top 150 guy out of North Carolina. He was committed to Washington with Porter. They've got C.J. Roberts, a top 100 kid out of the Dallas area coming in, he's more of a 2 guard. So you'll have those guys. Michael Porter can play some 2. Jordan Barnett can play some 2. So I think that's mainly, and then Cassius Robertson, a graduate transfer from Canisius, who's a 40% career 3-point shooter, I think has a pretty decent chance to be the starting 2 guard.
Gabe, I thought Konzo was a great hire for Missouri. I mean, he's brought all this excitement. He's done exactly what they wanted to, which was up the talent, get some excitement in that program. But he did this at Cal and got some big recruits. He did this at some other places. Is there concern about that, or is there just like, hey, look what he's done, we'll take what Cal did the last couple years?
Yeah, there's not concern right now because Missouri's been so bad. Like, here was my issue with Konzo when it kind of became apparent, hey, he's one of he's probably the top guy. My issue was, okay, look, he's going to come in here, he's going to be like 22-10 because that's what he is every year. He's going to get you on the bubble. He's going to get in sometimes, get left out sometimes. And I said, for the first 3 years, that's like heaven for Missouri fans,
right,
considering what they've been through. But I said, what if you get to year 5 or 6 and you're still just 22-10 and you're a 10 seed? Are people going to be okay with it then? Now, I will admit to underestimating a couple things. First of all, obviously this puzzle that has all come together, and look, this was orchestrated well back before Kim Anderson was even fired. I mean, the AD here Michael Porter Jr.'s aunt is the women's coach here. And the AD has been pretty open with me and with some other reporters. And he said, Robin Pinchton came to me a couple months ago and said, the Porter family's pretty interested in coming back here. If you make the right moves, you might be able to make that happen. So it's been this huge puzzle that's come together. So I underestimated just how much of that was going on behind the scenes. And I think I also underestimated how much people in the St. Louis area and on the Illinois side of St. Louis think of Konzo Martin. I mean, I had LaFonso Ellis on my podcast, and just everybody you talk to in that area, the man is admired isn't strong enough of a word, So with all the talent, I've said for a long time, if Missouri could simply keep its in-state talent and supplement it with some guys from the Kansas side of Kansas City and the Illinois side of St. Louis, like that's a top 25 basketball team every single year. You're talking about guys like Tyler Hansborough, Brad Beal, Ben McLemore, B.J. Young, I mean, that have just poured out of this state in the last 15 years. If he can recruit Kansas City and St. Louis, he's got a chance to be a top 25 team every year.
You can read Gabe's stuff, PowerMizzou.com. You mentioned St. Louis, and you mentioned Illinois, the side of St. Louis. The bragging rights game, Gabe, is going to be ratcheted up quite a bit. That's going to be one thing.
Yeah.
With Illinois, of course, with Jeremiah Tillman, with Mark Smith coming from that area as well. That game is going to be relevant again, as last year it was so unrelevant, and now all of a sudden everybody already in May looking forward to that game.
Yeah, I can't wait, guys. I mean, that always, growing up and throughout the first few years doing this, that was my favorite sporting event of the year. I love to go into that thing. And the last 3 or 4 have just been depressing. I mean, nobody goes. Nobody really has cared. And Illinois has been okay. Missouri has obviously been dreadful. And I really like Illinois' hire, too, to be quite honest. Yeah. I told people last year Missouri ought to fire Kim Anderson and go get Brad Underwood right now because they could have gotten him before Oklahoma State went and got him. I mean, I had people telling me, hey, he's interested. He'd listen to that job. And the guy who was the AD here at the time, Mac Rhodes, who really contributed very little in his year here, I mean, I had people tell me, yeah, he doesn't like Underwood coming out of that conference. He doesn't think he can recruit at this level. I said, well, I guess we'll find out because I think Brad Underwood's a pretty good coach. So that game's really fun when both teams are good. Obviously, I mean, I grew up in the Lou Henson and Norm Stewart era, and that game meant a lot every year. It was kind of to me, that's when college basketball season starts, is when they play that game. And
Amen.
I think it'll be a lot of fun going forward.
Gabe, Barry Odom, going into year 2, big year for him?
Huge year. I mean, their schedule, when you're in the SEC, there's no such thing as an easy schedule. But if there is, Missouri has it this year. I mean, they get Florida, South Carolina, and Tennessee all at home. Their West games are Auburn and Arkansas. The non-conference is tissue paper soft. It's Missouri State, Idaho, at Connecticut, and then Purdue at home. I mean, they have to be 4-0 there. This team has to be back in a bowl game. If it isn't, look, Barry's not going to get fired after 2 years. But if you can't go 6-6 or better with this schedule in the SEC, it will be fair to ask when you're going to get it done.
Can you tell the spike in recruiting once they got to the SEC? Is that continuing?
No. Here's the thing about recruiting at Missouri. It's really interesting. When Pinkel kind of got things going, we said, okay, recruiting will pick up. And it didn't really. And then they're number 1 in the country in 2007 and you know, almost a half away from playing for a national title, and recruiting didn't really change.
Interesting.
And then they go to the SEC, and frankly, the ranking didn't change, and they get a new coach, and it hasn't changed. I mean, Missouri just kind of lives in that 25 to 45 range, and what Gary Pinkel was so good at is getting the guys getting the guys from Texas that Texas and OU couldn't take. You know, getting a guy from Tennessee that Tennessee didn't have room for, and getting guys and projecting what they would be in year 3 and 4 in the program. He made his program on that. And it's kind of becoming obvious to me that that's almost the way you have to do it here.
Right.
Barry Odom better be as good at talent evaluation as Gary Pinkel was, because that's the only way you're winning here in the SEC, because you're not going to Georgia and getting kids that Georgia has offered. You're not going to Florida and getting kids that Florida has offered. And the state of Missouri, while it has a great 2018 class on an annual basis, doesn't pump out enough talent to be an upper half of the SEC team just by recruiting that area. So you've got to go find guys that other people just missed, because that's the only way you're going to do it, because Missouri isn't going to live getting 4- and 5-star kids from out of state.
Same thing with Illinois.
Well said. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of
Illinois is going to do the
similarity.
same thing. Gabe DeArmond, PowerMizzou.com. We appreciate your insight, Gabe.
All right, guys, have a good one.
You too, buddy. Well done. That was a great interview.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Illinois fans. They want all these 4- and 5-stars like it's happened before.
Right.
Right, and everyone go back to Zook. He got 2 5-stars.
Yeah.
Right?
Go back to Mike White. He brought in a lot of JUCOs.
Look at most of Zook's classes.
Exactly.
The best ones were ranked around 30, 32. Yep. Right? I mean, that's what Lovey just did.
Evaluators. Evaluation
huge.
is probably not a word we bring up enough. I don't know that John Gross ever did it well. Bruce Weber didn't do it well.
You know who's done it really well is Dabo Sweeney at Clemson.
Yes.
And now they're obviously getting in. Now they're getting some of those top recruits, out of the South. But, they've done a really good job evaluating a lot of talent. But Michigan State, Iowa, Wisconsin.
Well,
that's the thing for Illinois. So you can want to be Ohio State and Michigan when it comes to the recruiting thing. It's never been done here before.
And I'm not sure really from people that I talk to, I don't think anybody around here expects that with regards to recruiting.
But if you land a couple 4-stars a year, and you're good evaluators, you're going to do well.
Yep. And last year, Lovie Smith brought in a solid class, and that's why it's important for him to do this again. And then, as we talk about, it takes time, and then all of a sudden, that class last year, they're seniors. Mm-hmm. Then you got another class behind it. Then you got another class behind it. That's how you start building this up, and that's how Gary Pinkel was able to do it, as he just mentioned, down in Missouri. That's important.
Yeah, and, what's interesting is guys like Nate Hobbs and Alex Palczewski, Illinois kind of found these guys.
They did.
Right? And evaluators like Alan True from Scott, who I respect the heck out of, loved him.
Okay.
And he's like, these guys are finding good talent.
That's
they're
awesome.
good evaluators. So we'll see how it works out. But that's really, really important.
I mean, maybe that's the one thing that I guess that's the one thing that we always laugh and joke about, being panicked of only having 2 guys signed or whatever, how many guys signed in a class. I mean, a lot of Illinois coaches hopefully are good evaluators to where they're out there looking for that guy. Now, they want the good guys. They obviously want to bring in a 4-star, but they're also looking for a kid that they think they can kind of steal from college, essentially. They can get a steal and have them come in and really do some good things. Even Zook had some guys that really progressed.
If you want to weigh in, 359-2255, that's 217-359-2255. One of the area baseball teams is playing this week a legend already, even though he's in his mid-20s. Somebody tweeted out the other day that we could be watching the best baseball player ever.
Okay. You've got me piqued here in my interest.
I want to react to that.
Okay, we'll do it next. If you want to weigh in, 359-2255. That's 217-359-2255. It is the Tay and J Show.
Napa know-how.
That's not heavy metal music or the sound of a stray cat fight. It's your car's not-so-subtle way of saying, head to Napa for new brake pads and rotors and get up to a $50 rebate by mail. So don't confuse for anything other than new brakes and $50 back by mail. That's Napa Know-How.
Napa Know-How.
At participating Napa Auto Parts stores. Offer expires 5/31/17.
Tuesdays can't get any respect. Every week it's like, I can't believe it's only Tuesday. No one ever asks, how was your Tuesday? But now there is something exciting about Tuesday. The Tune-Up Tuesday sale at Chief Bauer Service Experts. Get an extra $10 off our lowest sale price on an AC Precision tune-up. That means you'll get a $120 tune-up for only $59 when you book online today at chiefbauer.com. The Tune-Up Tuesday sale at Chief Bauer Service Experts. Take that Saturday.
Join the Prairie Lands Council for their 2017 Distinguished Citizens Dinner, this year honoring the Atkins family. Wednesday, May 17th at Stone Creek Golf Club. Don't miss this fun evening with heavy hors d'oeuvres and drinks, along with a wonderful program and awards presentation. Tickets for this event honoring 2017 Distinguished Citizens are on sale now. Support Scouting. $250 per person or $400 per couple. Buy tickets today by calling 531-0218. That's 531-0218.
Your four-legged friends need protection too. Pet insurance from Pekin Insurance covers cats and dogs at least 6 weeks of age or older as an enhancement to your homeowner's coverage. Choose between $2,500 or $5,000 worth of coverage for a variety of pet health services. You can even take your pet to the veterinarian of your choice. Learn more at PekinInsurance.com or ask your local agent about how to protect your furry family members. For pet insurance that is beyond the expected, contact Pekin Insurance today.
You already know Houlihan's Restaurant and Bar at the iHotel is a great restaurant, but don't forget about the bar. Fantastic drink specials and mouth-watering menu items from snacks to full meals. A nice selection of draft, craft, and domestic beers, and just about any cocktail you can imagine. Watch a game with multiple flat screens on all sides of the bar, or grab some tables and make it a party. Drink specials daily, plus Houlihan's is now serving a delicious hot breakfast 7 days a week. Houlihan's at the iHotel. Check them out at the corner of 1st Street and St. Mary's Road, just south of the State Farm Center.
Going on 5 years, Rock's Place in St. Joseph has become the neighborhood sports bar and grill for a lot of folks in the area. Rock's Place is known for their delicious burgers, and they also have great daily food and drink specials. Plus, Rock's has plenty of TVs, so you can keep tabs on the Cubs and Cardinals all summer long. And while you're there, press your luck on one of Melody Music's video gaming machines. For delicious food, cold drinks, and good company, make it Rock's Place, 101 North Main Street in St. Joseph. Find them on Facebook, ROCHS in St. Joseph.
Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday morning 7 to 9 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Tay and J Show. You know, dogs do it every day. I'm sure cats do as well. But the stretch, just a good, solid stretch. I just had one. Really underrated.
You should do that before you work out. Be smart.
Wait a minute. You mean like I should show up to a place that I'm working out and actually stretch before?
Yeah, just give it a good 2, 3, 4 minute stretch.
That seems so
Stretch
silly.
the hammies out a little bit, especially if you're running or anything.
There is a girl that I always know that like we must somehow work out at the same time all the time. And she will stretch for a while as I just jump right on the treadmill and start running.
Yeah. Because she's smart.
And then I sit there thinking, I'm 5 minutes ahead of her. I am 5 minutes ahead of her in this workout.
And then you're hurting.
Then I'm hurting. All right,
and
I'll
who
try
will
to
use those 5 minutes better in the long run?
Yeah, she will. And she looks a lot better. She looks like she's in better shape, so obviously I'm doing something
yoga
wrong.
is basically just stretching.
I know, that's
and
amazing.
holding positions, right?
Yeah. Hardest thing I've ever done.
It's really hard.
Hardest.
All right, so our boy, Joe Sheehan, great baseball writer, tweeted out yesterday, and I found this really interesting. It is not unreasonable to suggest that the best player and the best pitcher who have ever lived are playing in the L.A. Basin right now.
Kershaw and Trout. Interesting.
Is it too early to talk about that?
It's easy to argue that, but it's not hard to argue with. I mean, it's like, well.
I mean, think of Trout. He's finished top 2 in the MVP 5 straight years. Probably should have won it.
Yes.
All 5 years.
Miggy's Triple Crown got him.
And then Miggy got another year because Miggy deserved it.
No doubt.
But the Triple Crown, is that as much as what Trout was doing defensively and all these other things, right? I mean, Trout was really, really good. But, Mike Trout is just 25 years old.
Wow.
And we're already talking about that.
He's 25.
And I don't think it's ridiculous.
No, I don't either.
I mean, if you don't get a chance, I know he's on the West Coast.
I know.
At 9 o'clock at night,
I'm so
turn
mad
on
about
MLB Network or something and just get a glimpse of this guy.
He's playing your White Sox?
Yeah, he's playing the White Sox right now. He's got 12 homers, 27 RBI, a 12.02 OPS, 450 on base percentage, 752 slugging. Everyone's talking about Bryce Harper's year.
Right.
Trout's topping him in those categories, right? I mean, it's unbelievable, that slash line that we talk about. 450, 752, 12.02, that is ridiculous. And it feels like Michael Jordan when the MVP award came up. Like you're just trying to find another guy.
You're finding a reason not to get it to him.
Let's give it to Mookie Betts. No, Mike Trout is the best player in the game. Give him the award.
Now, this could be a lawn problem.
Sorry, John and Camargo.
Right. This could be a lawn problem, and Lon, as we all know, has a lot of problems. I say to you all the time that I hate it that he plays on the West Coast because I just do not get to watch his highlights. Thus, the next day, I'm already at work in the morning. I don't get a chance to really ever watch him. I just do not get to watch him on highlights or anything. Yes, I could get to work. I could Google him. I could YouTube him. I could bring up ESPN and do that. I just don't do it. Does he get the national credit that everybody else does as well? And again, this could be a lawn problem.
I think the other thing going against Trout is
they're not very good.
Right.
That doesn't help.
And I was going to bring this up, but Trout doesn't have that personality either.
No, right.
Like Harper has a personality that conflicts with people, so we're talking about him
every once in a while. He's back in the headlines,
right? So he's showboating or whatever. I think it's fun.
Yep.
But people get upset. The old schoolers, respect the game.
Old schoolers would love Mike Trout.
Yeah, he's boring.
Yeah, he's boring.
He's boringly awesome.
He just goes out and does everything right without really bringing attention to himself.
Right.
I mean, that's
Bryce Harper flips his hair and people get angry.
Yeah, well, they should cut that hair.
So my question, because Mike Trout, by wins above replacement, is worth 9 to 10 wins over a replacement level player every year.
That's unreal.
Every year. Now, NBA has win share kind of thing. They say LeBron this year was worth 13 wins.
Wow.
For the Cavaliers. That seems low to me.
You're right.
But with Trout, it feels like when we talk about baseball, like basketball, if you don't win championships, we're not putting you at this level.
Good call.
NFL quarterbacks especially.
Good call.
If you don't win championships, we're not putting you at that category. We don't do that with baseball.
We don't.
And
baseball
even
is
hockey,
a whole
we do it a little
different
bit.
thing.
Yeah, baseball is a little bit different.
It's all its own.
I think it's fine because Trout is doing everything he can to help the Angels win. Without him, the Angels are probably a 60-win team.
Baseball is all about personal stats. Nobody ever asks you, do they, how many points a game LeBron James averages? Nobody ever asks you that. They talk about how many championships he's won. Mm-hmm. In baseball, they don't ask you.
Separating LeBron and Michael.
Well, right now that will happen. Right, if it gets nitty gritty. In baseball, if I asked you about Mike Trout, I would ask you like, okay, what's his line?
Yeah.
Well, he's got 12 homers. He's got this. He's hitting this. And then, of course, now we've introduced WAR and all this other stuff.
And that's when we ever get into the MVP conversation.
Mm-hmm.
People are like, well, he doesn't win. It's like he is worth 10 wins per year. I mean, now it's one measure.
Sure.
But without him, the Angels are a 60-win team. Like, that somehow is less valuable.
Right.
Because the team around him, the franchise, the front office can't put good players around him.
Exactly.
Like, he's less valuable than a Mookie Betts. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. That's why that MVP conversation comes up.
It is silly.
I get just angry about it.
Sometimes I like to punish myself by thinking about things like this. And I asked you guys earlier, if you put LeBron James on my Sixers,
yes,
how good would they be? They'd probably be the number 2 seed in the East
They'd
immediately.
probably be a 3 seed at least.
And probably have a really good shot of making the finals.
But it's the NBA.
Yep.
Like, you can put Trout on the Padres, and they'd be just like the Angels.
That's exactly right. And then, but then you think, if you put Trout in St. Louis, if you put him in center field, like before Fowler signed, it's like, well, we got a spot for Mike Trout. Now, obviously, it's not going to happen. But you sit there and you let yourself think of that, and it's like, oh my goodness, can you imagine? Can you imagine how he would play as a Cub or a Cardinal?
I don't think the Angels will ever let him out of that.
I don't either.
You know, people talk about, the Yankees will sign him. I think the Yankees will definitely go after Bryce Harper.
Sure.
But Trout has a contract through 2020.
Trout's an East Coast. He's an East Coast guy?
He's an East Coast guy. But the LA Angels, I'm sure, will pay him $500 million just to be Mike Trout. Like, the Angels brought to you by Mike Trout.
Yep.
Like, they might not be good, but they'll have that sell. Come watch one of the best players ever in an Angels uniform for the rest of his life.
And I know it's beautiful out east. Don't get me wrong. It's beautiful out there. There are a lot of great spots out east. You got New York. You got Boston. Put me on a beach in California. Yes, I'll take that. And Mike Trout, not only put me on a beach, but give me $500 million.
And even making $30 million a year.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's ever a trade offer that is worth Mike Trout.
No. That's
the
thing.
You'd have to give up the entire farm. The entire farm. Like the Cubs, give up your entire farm system.
Here is our 1 through 20 prospects.
Yeah,
We're sending them your way.
It would take, like, for me, 8 of your top 15 prospects,
that's unreal.
at least.
Well, it's a shame. It really is a shame, and I don't mean that bad. It's just a shame that people in the Midwest will really never respect. Not respect him. They respect him. Will not appreciate him as much as we should because we're not seeing him on a daily basis.
We'll talk some NBA draft lottery with Michael Weisenberg next hour. If you want to weigh in, 359-2255.
It is the Tay and J Show.
Hanson's Auto Repair in Urbana is a family-owned and operated full-service garage. For over 40 years, they've offered friendly atmosphere, quality work, and reasonable prices. Whether it's an oil change, brake service, or engine replacement, Hanson's Auto does it all. They're a locally owned dealer who cares, providing fast, comprehensive, and expert service. Family-owned, operated, and trusted since 1966, Hanson's Auto Repair, 1202 East Washington in Urbana. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. Visit them online at hansonsautorepair.com.
Hi, it's Corey with Max Twin City Recycling. We pride ourselves on giving the area an outlet to recycle and get paid for their unwanted metals. We're taking our community focus a step further with our Recycling for a Cause program. Each month, Max Twin City will choose a different local charity to feature in an effort to raise money for those causes. Visit maxrecycling.com for a complete list of program details.
Party's on. The legendary voice of Motley Crue, Vince Neil. Performing all your favorite Motley Crue hits. Saturday night, May 20th at 8 at Effingham Performance Center. Vince Neil live. Reserve seats on sale now at Ticketmaster.com, the UPC box office, or phone. Give it a kickstart with Vince Neil live.
You buy Community Credit Union for campus and community.
Bring into double points now through the end of May with the Illini Visa Rewards Card and the U of I Community Credit Union. Double points are waiting for you. Now through the end of May, use your Illini Visa Rewards Card on purchases for lawn and garden, sporting goods, nurseries, and home improvement stores and score double points. Plus, you can earn an extra 1,000 bonus points when you use your Illini Visa for 20 or more transactions each month. Use those points to purchase once-in-a-lifetime trips and experiences. Not a member yet? Visit IlliniCard.org today.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
From New York, the Fox Report.
I'm Lisa Brady. Nothing inappropriate. That bottom line from National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster on President Trump's Oval Office meeting with 2 Russian officials last week.
The president, it's wholly appropriate for the president to share whatever information he thinks is necessary to advance the security of the American people. That's what he did.
McMaster won't confirm whether classified information was shared, but he denies that any sources or methods were jeopardized.
I should just make maybe the statement here that the president wasn't even aware, of where this information came from. He wasn't briefed on the source or method of the information either.
The White House condemning leaks about the meeting, saying that is dangerous to national security. The Senate Intelligence Committee just wrapping up a previously scheduled meeting. Fox's Jared Halpern is live on Capitol Hill.
President Trump's conversation with the Russian ambassador to the U.S. and the foreign minister was not the main topic for the Senate Intelligence Committee, but the panel's Republican chairman, Richard Burr, wants the White House to make people who were in the room available to talk.
We'd like to understand what was said. We can't go by just news accounts from an anonymous source.
The committee's Democratic Vice Chair Mark Warner also says a review could include transcripts if they exist.
If there is, we'd like to see it appropriately redacted.
The CIA director expected to brief the House Intelligence Committee as well. Lisa.
Jared, all of this simmering as Turkey's president visits the White House.
Sonunda kaybedeceklerdir.
Those who are willing to turn the chaos in Syria, Iraq, Yemen, and Libya are bound to lose eventually.
Through a translator, President Erdogan calling for fighting all terrorist groups in the region. Turkey opposes the U.S. plan to arm Kurdish fighters in Syria. A mixed day overall on Wall Street. The Dow slips 2 points, the S&P down a point, but the NASDAQ hitting a new record high, up 20 to 61.69. This is the Fox Report, fair and balanced.
Summer involves a lot of driving, to camp, to work, to soccer, back home to grab what they forgot, and then back to soccer again. So wouldn't you like to know your car is up for it? Enter Hum by Verizon. Now you can check your car's health from your phone with vehicle diagnostics, drive with more peace of mind thanks to 24/7 emergency assistance, and let the kids stream and game on the go with your car's own Wi-Fi hotspot. Get Hum and get where you're going. Learn more at hum.com. Verizon Wi-Fi available on Hum X only. Data usage applies. Coverage not available everywhere. Visit vzw.com for availability.
Ready for a new tractor? At LS Tractor, we'll be the first to tell you to shop and compare. That's right, shop our competition. We're that confident that the LS Tractor combination of more standard features, better performance, competitive price, and proven commitment to customer satisfaction deliver value that's unequaled by another tractor. Period. Want more tractor for your money? Look around. You'll see there's one that gives it to you. LS Tractor. Excel in your field. Learn more at lstractorusa.com.
The U.S. says North Korea's missile tests are more than just a problem.
This is a true threat to every country in the world.
U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, as the UN Security Council holds a closed-door meeting on Pyongyang's latest test over the weekend.
If you are a country that is supplying or supporting North Korea, we will call you out on it. We will make sure that everyone knows who you are, and we will target those sanctions towards you as well.
Haley says China has been moving to strengthen sanctions, but other countries are trying to fill the void. President Trump's first overseas trip in office begins Friday and will include a visit to the Western Wall in Israel.
It will be the first visit of an incumbent U.S. president to the religious side. The outer wall of the raised esplanade is called the Haram al-Sharif by Muslims and the Temple Mount by Jews. That section of Jerusalem is on land that was under Jordanian control before 1967.
Fox's Jessica Gallagher in Jerusalem. The president will also meet with the Pope and with Gulf state leaders in Saudi Arabia. The administration says his intent is to highlight the need for unity among three of the world's great religions. The Secret Service just confirming a brief disturbance on White House grounds. Someone who jumped a bike rack along a North Lawn fence line is in custody. The security system for California's Golden Gate Bridge under review after a viral video of two daredevils doing somersaults and backflips on top of the bridge days ago.
Where these individuals were, what they were engaged in would not have harmed the bridge, so it did not trigger alarms. That having been said, we're going back and revisiting the system because we want to protect the motorists on the roadway.
Bridge General Manager Dennis Mulligan says in other areas, cameras would have picked up the activity.
It's my
Bon Jovi thrilling graduates in their home state, New Jersey, with an impromptu performance at Fairleigh Dickinson University's commencement today. The school won a nationwide contest by generating the most interest on social media. In New York, I'm Lisa Brady on Fox News Radio.
Yep, I just nailed it.
Kind like 5 for 7.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. I mean, that's Mike Troutish.
That's pretty dang good. Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you cool all spring and summer. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit them online at chiefbauer.com. Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 66. Wednesday, mostly sunny, high 85, low of 67. Thursday, chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. High 87 during the day, low of 53.
Okay.
Right now, sunny, clear, summer-like 84 degrees in Champaign-Urbana.
All right, you NBA draft geeks, we got Michael Weisenberg from NBADraft.net coming up. Bottom of the hour, we'll talk about tonight's lottery. It's basically going to be me asking him questions about the 76ers.
That's fine.
I mean, that's really what it's going to focus in on.
You had a chance to get a nice pick tonight.
Yes, we do.
2 nice picks.
Yes. Don't get me excited like that.
Need the Lakers not to finish in the top 3, right?
Right. Which will probably not happen, and then we'll try to do it again next year. All right, it's the Tay and J Show. Lon Tay, Jeremy Warner. You and I experienced a really cool thing on, was that Thursday or Friday? That would have been Friday. Where we were talking to our buddy Mike Carpenter, who was out in New York, and in the midst of a conversation, I actually brought up something like, what else you doing out in New York? I had zero idea what was coming next. And then you said something to the fact of, did you get it done? And the answer was yes, and that is Mike Carpenter proposed, and she said yes. And Mike Carpenter is in studio with us right now. I mean, what was that moment like?
It was interesting because you're walking across the Brooklyn Bridge, which is a long walk. It's like a mile and a half.
Good call, by the way.
Thank you.
No doubt. Way to blow.
And I need to thank the photographer, which it was 3 people walking our way.
How did you do that? How did you get your phone out without Kara going like, what the heck are you doing?
So this is what happens. We get to the Brooklyn side, and the majority of the bridge, it's an old bridge, so it's wooden planks, and it's got the little creases in it.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, nope, not here.
Right.
Too risky. And it was busy. It was really busy because it was a beautiful day in New York. So we get to the Brooklyn side of it where there's a concrete landing. And I look back and I'm kind of scoping it out, like in my mind thinking, would that be a good picture? Would that be a good picture? And we're walking and I'm trying to slow down. I'm thinking, okay, it's either now or the other idea I had was Washington Square Park in NYU. They got that famous arch.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't be there for another 2-3 hours.
Yeah, were you close to a boarding mission or something on that?
Abort!
So then it was just a matter of logistics. It was like, okay, well, how do you get this done? And we had just taken a couple selfies. And one thing that neither her or I are very good at are taking selfies. So I thought, well, maybe that could be a way for me to say, well, hey, how about we get someone else to take
Perfect.
Yeah. So we
see
this
down, man.
Did.
So we see, and the thing is, I honestly did not plan it out much more than here's a spot. If not this spot, there's a spot.
Yeah.
Right.
So I see 3, I say younger people, but 24, 25, 2 girls and a guy walking our direction. And I think, perfect. I mean, obviously they will be able to get the shots. One of them will volunteer for it.
It's not going to be Jan Tay trying to hit every button on a phone like, oh,
Wait,
no.
Did I hit it?
You had to go younger there, so you did.
So I even said, I was like, well, how about we get someone to take a picture of us? And
awesome.
She said, well, as long as you ask somebody, then that's fine. And I find them. So I say, hey, would one of you be able to take some pictures of us with, the bridge and the skyline behind us? And one girl said, sure. So I'm looking. The thing with the Brooklyn Bridge is one half is pedestrian, the other half is bikers.
Yeah. Okay.
And those bikers are going.
Right. You don't want to get in their way.
So I do the quick look left, look right. We got a window of time right here where there's not a biker going on, and there's not a lot of pedestrians either. There's a few in the photos, but it wasn't nearly as busy as before.
Right.
So as the girl's getting ready to take a picture, and I want to get right in the middle of that bridge too, I'm like, okay, no bikers. And I say, hey, do me a favor, take a lot of pictures.
Yes.
And at that moment...
Did you wink at her like something big's coming up?
I did like a hand motion or something. I don't know. Something where I could tell that she did a sort of,
got it. Got it.
But Kara had no idea.
Right.
And then, you just do it, right? I didn't have any prepared lines or anything, but you do it. And for that 30-second, 1 minute period of time, you're just in a different...
Do you remember any of it?
Yeah, no, I remember all of it, but at the same time, it was sort of like...
it's an outer body experience, isn't it?
Yeah,
really
it is euphoric. It is a buzz that you would maybe, not to relate it to sports or music, because obviously it's much bigger than that.
Yeah.
But it is this sort of thing where you remember it, but at the same time, you're at a different kind of headspace.
It's a big moment of your life.
Yeah.
Big moment.
They did a good job taking the picture. You got the Freedom Tower in the background and everything.
By the way, that went. So this is how Friday started. We decided we'd start the day south in Battery Park, and you could see the Statue of Liberty, Ellis Island, and then we went to the 9/11 site and saw the new Trade Center and the two pools. And the thing we did before Brooklyn Bridge was go in the 9/11 museum.
Wow, which is heavy.
It was so well done.
It's really well done.
Yeah. So that was an hour's worth of time, and we emerge, and it's still nice out. Let's walk across the Brooklyn Bridge. We were probably quieter than we would have been had we not just visited that museum. So there was a little part of me that thought, oh boy,
What an emotional day for her.
Did you just kill the buzz?
Yeah. But at the same time,
abort.
And we talked about this afterwards too, how, we made kind of a joke about, wow, of all places to be before that, the 9/11 museum.
No doubt.
But at the same time, in a very dramatic way, it does kind of frame how fragile life is and how, whether it's a carpe diem sort of attitude or whatever you'd want to put to it, that you emerge from there solemn, but at the same time thinking, okay, how cool is this? We're in New York City. We're on vacation. We have all these great opportunities to just, day by day. There's always something. So I think the heaviness of it actually
lent itself to it. Yeah.
Was she surprised?
Yes. Yeah, she was, and
she didn't see it coming here or anytime soon, or
I don't think so. No, I mean we talked about that too, and she said, well, there was one passing thought she had when she was just thinking about New York, whatever it may have been. She thought, I wonder if he would actually do that there. I mean,
at the Yankees game on the Jumbotron.
And that would have been, and that was exactly what she thought it would have been.
That's what saved you, is that she's thinking, all right, I'm in the clear.
Yeah.
We're on the Brooklyn Bridge. I mean, I'm in the clear here. He's not going to propose to me here. He's going to wait till Yankee Stadium.
And the great thing about that Brooklyn Bridge walk, like a lot of people do it when they go to New York. It's just something you do, and it's a really cool experience. But I will say that for a good chunk of that bridge, you look around and you see the skyline, but the One World Trade Center is the biggest icon.
Yes.
You can't really see the Empire State Building from there. Statue of Liberty, it's way far away.
Right.
For a lot of that walk, what you see are the steel beams and this rickety old bridge. I mean, it's amazing that it's still standing up. It's such a landmark.
That it keeps passing engineers' tests.
Yeah, so it wasn't until, we're walking and thinking, when is the good shot going to emerge? And then it did, so...
That's awesome.
How was Derek? I don't know where to go from here. I mean, that's an amazing thing. How was the Derek Jeter night?
Yeah.
Bigger love of your life, Jeter or Kara?
Answer wisely.
First off, if you would have thrown in Mariano Rivera, it might be slightly closer, but no comparison. But so the great thing was Friday we got to go to the first game of two, or so we thought. We had Friday and we had Sunday night. Yankees lost, but at that point you weren't really.
No.
I mean, yeah, we
don't
aren't
care.
really thinking about.
Well, you care, but I'm with you.
So Saturday, super rainy day, and then they announced that Saturday's game was canceled. No surprise, they announced it at like 6 that morning, And I didn't read the initial release well enough. I thought that they were saying that there's going to be a doubleheader Sunday,
Yes.
but it's going to be one of those classic, got to clear out the stadium.
Oh,
and then
that would be a mess.
Security's pretty big there, like metal detectors and all that, and you get kind of funneled through these lines. And I'm thinking 50,000 Yankee fans in line for security at 4 p.m, waiting for everyone else to get out. Sounds terrible. No, it was single admission doubleheader. So
unreal.
Sunday we got up to the Bronx at 2, went to a couple bars. Before that, have you heard of McSorley's in New York?
Yeah.
Okay, oldest ale house in the country.
Okay.
You get light ale and dark ale, and that's it. 2 beers. That's cash only.
How sweet is that?
It's great. But yeah, get up to the Bronx, get to experience Stan's, which is a sports bar that was in that Jeter Gatorade commercial.
Okay.
It's a legendary place across from the old Yankee Stadium. And then get in there to see a comeback in Game 1, get to see Jeter night.
So cool.
And, I mean, it was...
was it Jeter night pretty emotional?
Yeah, it was. I mean, for me, I think it was a lot of the run-up to it.
Yeah.
And, because you only have so much emotion that you can really expend at something like that.
I can be pretty emotional at things like sporting things.
Well, because then you start thinking about all the moments of watching these games. So they have the highlight reels, and I remember...
when Tommy Herr was done.
Oh, don't why'd you bring that up?
But, I mean, even little things like the famous play where he went into the stands.
Yes.
It was a July game against the Red Sox, just a regular season game. But that night, my dad and I were at this Van Halen show in Indy. Sammy Hagar, era Van Halen.
So it brought back a memory immediately.
Yeah, and I remember on our old flip phone, got a T9 text from my sister saying, "Oh my God, you would not believe the play that just happened."
How cool is that?
And then we don't see it, of course, until we get back to the hotel.
Right.
But all these plays and remembering where you were.
That's cool.
Usually watching it with my dad or with the family.
So cool.
Yeah, I think that was more of it than just Derek Jeter, because he himself is not the most warm and fuzzy guy. Like, he's very cool and calculated.
Yeah, I mean, his speech was that way.
Yeah,
his speech was like you could write a Derek Jeter speech before, and that was it.
That was it.
It was fine.
Yeah,
his speech was fine. The monument isn't the best. It was getting made fun of pretty well. It was getting made fun of pretty well, and deservedly. But none of those monuments really look like the guys. But it was all the supporting guys.
Yeah.
So Tino Martinez, I wasn't counting on him being there, but Bernie, Paul O'Neill, Paul O'Neill and Hideki Matsui got the 2 biggest responses.
Wow.
Which is kind of interesting. Mariano was up there too. Bernie, everyone loves Bernie.
Was my boy there?
Who's your boy?
Brocious.
He was not.
Well, man.
Yeah.
No.
I think maybe they set the baseline at, Hideki was 09, but other than that,
you're not invited.
Other than that, everyone had won at least 4.
Wow.
And Brocious was only there in 98, 99, 2000. He wasn't there in 96.
George on the text line said, Carp said not close, but never said a name between Jeter and Kara.
Oh, well, it's Kara, obviously.
We just need to confirm things here.
All right. Would El Duque get like a huge...
El Duque would, yeah.
I'm trying to think of like random guys because Pettit was there.
There's certain guys that are kind of like folk heroes out there.
Yeah.
Hideki was one. I mean, that Game 6 in the 09 series, he had 6 RBIs and single-handedly won that game.
I'm surprised Bernie doesn't get bigger.
No, Bernie's was huge.
Oh,
and
okay.
Andy, I guess I should say the most surprising reaction.
Okay. Gotcha.
So for all I know, Bernie and Hideki were the same.
Right, decibel level.
Yeah, absolutely. But when Hideki got announced and it was Michael Kay and John Sterling. They were doing all the player introductions.
Yes.
So he said something along the lines of nickname Godzilla, and then immediately the stadium's like,
crazy.
"Oh man, Hideki's here." So.
Did they play? Who's the old Yankees? Derek
Shepard.
Jeter. Yeah. Did they do that with him?
They did.
See, I missed it, and I apologize. I actually missed it Sunday night.
And I guess I don't want to say disappointments, but a couple things I noticed when you get to something like that. That cavernous kind of stadium, maybe this is old Yankee Stadium, the whole like name chanting worked better. So the Derek Jeter thing kind of like...
Derek Jeter. Because at the beginning of every game, if you don't know the Yankees, they like do a chant for every player.
Roll call.
Every starter. They do a roll call thing, which was the coolest thing there. But the new Yankee Stadium, it's huge and it's this museum-like place. But I always tell people it's probably not in my top 5.
Right.
Because it is this cavernous, huge arena that's more like... It feels like an Olympic stadium than an intimate baseball.
Well, if they wouldn't have
stadium.
won so much, they wouldn't have had to,
you
highlight all this
60,000 people in
Well, and even old Yankee Stadium, that was huge as far as like inside the seating area, but the concourses were small. So with this, they went for broke, but it's the name more than it is probably the facility.
So cool.
All right, so you were gone, Tillman to Mizzou.
Yeah. it recalibrates the important things, right? But I will say that even if like some life changing.
Wait, I don't like that carp.
What's that?
That recalibrates the important.
The engaged version of carp.
Don't you let Kara come in and change fanboy carp. Like if I see your Twitter tomorrow and it's loving carp, I'll be like, wait a minute,
affectionate carp.
I want you to be as mad as ever about Jeremiah Tillman.
But the thing about Tillman. If this would have happened immediately a month ago,
yes,
because it was dragged out so long,
it was happening.
Yeah, well, and even when
you almost didn't care.
Well, when Mark Smith committed, then I couldn't help but think, well, it still makes a lot of sense for him.
Yeah.
And would we welcome him back? Of course, because he won to win games and he's a really good center.
Sure.
But because so much time passed, it was hard to have much of an emotional reaction to it now.
I'm actually, if he's not going to go to Illinois, is the guy covering it? I'm glad he goes to Missouri.
Yeah, sure.
Yes. I mean, this rivalry that was at the bottom of the barrel of this entire rivalry.
In danger, I mean, potentially.
Yes, and now it's just turned up to so many notches. I think it's going to be phenomenal.
We're doing our show in St. Louis.
Yes,
I
we are
the
doing
timing
our
works.
I mean, thinking about that.
Even if it's
compared to last year, you guys called me while I was down there. It felt like, well, why even calling Jeremy?
Right,
we were not even excited
it's
about it.
It's kind of like, well, I guess we'll get Jeremy on to talk about the bragging rights game. I mean, that's how boring, not you are, but how boring the game was. You are bowling.
But it is...
even if it's a Saturday game, we could do a Friday night show there.
Oh, that'd be fine.
I think that would be fantastic, and I hope it's back on a Saturday.
It is an interesting spot to be in with Illinois basketball because, there's all these spots to fill. I think ultimately they will fill some of them, maybe not all of them. And it's exciting to think of the prospects of some of who those guys may be.
Agree.
But there is this confidence with Underwood where I don't want to just sort of naively say, well, yeah, everything's going to be okay.
Right.
There's work to be done.
Yeah.
But he does, that confidence that he exudes is kind of contagious.
Yep, I agree.
And whether it be yesterday or 2 days ago, he says, yeah, we're making the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
Whether that's for him
I
or for
believe
the
that.
players, I agree.
It's not going to be smooth, but I kind of believe it.
And what I find interesting is because Konzo was, no matter what you think, and a lot of Illini fans is just assume he's doing this the wrong way.
Correct.
Right? But no matter what you think, this is why he was hired.
Yeah.
And he's brought excitement back to that program.
No doubt.
And Missouri basketball is a lot better now that they have Konzo Martin. But I also find the coaching dynamic interesting because they're two opposite coaches.
They totally are.
I mean, you got Brad Underwood, who has 4 straight NCAA tournaments, and then Konzo Martin, who's made 2 of 9.
Wow.
Which is worse than what Gross was.
Right.
With teams built on defense.
And teams that are built with 5-star talent. We've seen this with him before, but it's a lot better than where Mizzou was previously. So I think just watching this rivalry over the next 5 years is going to be really interesting, just the whole dynamic of it.
You could say, if you're looking at it in context, and Kim Anderson's Missouri and John Gross's Illinois, you could say that each team improved in equal amount from where they were before, because Missouri was so bad. And I think, Konzo was going to make tournaments there.
I think Mizzou's improved a lot more in Illinois.
That would probably be the argument one would make, and I couldn't disagree with that. I think the ceiling, even with that talent, there is a potential ceiling I would cap on Konzo based on 9 years.
Yeah.
But I feel disingenuous saying that because I still would have been okay with him being hired.
Absolutely.
Based on talent acquisition alone. And I think, you know what, maybe you get an ace assistant coach and get things figured out. But
I think he still would have been a solid hire here. I think Underwood's a better hire just because he's proven he's a great coach. Now, does he have the right guys around to get talent? Well, Mark Smith and I start. There's a lot of work to do, as you said.
Absolutely.
The Mark Smith thing tempers the Tillman reaction so much.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you would have said, if you give a list, well, who was the number one priority target once Mark Smith burst on the scene, and the Tillman thing at that point, you felt like it was established, but I would have said back in January, February, that's the more important guy.
Good call.
And you got the more important guy.
Yep. Carp, one piece of advice.
Yeah.
When you and Kara are together watching an Illini game, watching a Yankees game, whatever, things get excited, you need to fist bump the right hand.
That's true.
Those rings hurt. They hurt.
That's very true.
They are a little bit jagged.
That is, just take that from me.
That's a good point.
And
fist bump the right hand on her.
Do you guys know a date quite yet?
Sometime next year.
Was she guarding it the whole way, like on the plane and everything? Like
it is slightly too big, like very slightly too big.
Yeah.
Not to the point where it could get over the knuckle or anything, but we'll go get the resize and everything.
The diamond was too big?
Well, please, come on. Spared no expense.
Can you imagine, though? I mean, being the female, we're all guys, and getting that ring, and then all of a sudden, you got to protect this thing now.
Sure, yeah.
And carrying it Like when you're traveling is the most terrifying. I had to carry that.
You did it too, right?
Oh,
I remember the jeweler told me, he's like, you tell your wife on your honeymoon, do not wear that. He's like, do you know how many times we've had people come back in and say that thing's at the bottom of the ocean? I mean, he's do not take that, whatever. I don't know what
that was the whole thing, because Thursday getting to New York, I had it in my carry-on. And I talked to the jeweler and said, okay, I'm a little worried that it goes through that scanner thing, and then, Joe Security has to say, excuse me, sir, I'm going to take a quick look through this. And then he pulls out.
What's this ring?
Right, pulls out the ring box.
That's a great point.
And no problems. But
I think they see that a lot.
I would think.
You know what?
There'd be a lot of ruined engagements if TSA was that much
because
of a
old Joe there. Carp, congrats, buddy.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
I'm so excited. Don't lose your edge, though.
No.
Don't lose your edge.
I won't.
We all love Karen. She's awesome, and she's going to be the best thing for you. But don't let her don't you become nice. I mean, Illinois fans like Carp like he is.
If it's any consolation, when Tanaka gave up 6 runs in the bottom of the first, I had a momentary bit of unadulterated anger.
Yes!
But then, this is the thing. I'm going to get angry, and then I think I'll quickly be able to recalibrate.
Then you'll realize.
So don't worry. There will still be reckless tweets and calling out 18-year-old athletes for no apparent reason.
That's all we want.
I'll try to temper
That's
it.
all we want.
All right, we'll talk some NBA draft lottery, what it means, who has the most to gain, and who are the top prospects. Michael Weisenberg, NBADraft.net, up next.
It is the Tay and J Show.
An ESPN Radio Mike and Mike Extra Point with Adnan Virk and Booger McFarland.
How about your boy Eddie Lacy? He's down to 253. $55,000 was the incentive to make weight.
To me, I would take this as a slap in the face. You're a grown man, you're a professional football player, and they have to pay you to lose weight. I think it speaks to the long-term mindset and the long-term durability of a guy when you have to pay him to lose weight. Because right now, this is kind of a joke. They have to pay you to lose weight. To me, that's kind of a joke.
The average American makes $52,000 per year. He made $55,000 yesterday for not being overweight. And to take it further, according to sources, 7 potential weight bonuses, $385,000. That's more than a joke. That's embarrassing.
Just choose the grilled chicken and asparagus over the number 2 with fries and a Twinkie soda or whatever you want to call it. Like that's what they're doing.
Right.
Hear more from Mike and Mike tomorrow morning on ESPN Radio. This is Bill's yard, and Bill's a grill master, not a grass expert.
Still, no weeds belong in this backyard barbecue kingdom. And with Scott's Turf Builder Weed and Feed, Bill's greasy thumb is just as good as a green thumb. Because Scott's thickens lawns to help crowd out over 50 pesky weeds. So Bill can defeat invaders, green up his lawn, and hold his spatula high. This is a Scott's yard. Pick up Scott's Weed and Feed today.
Does your supply house give you the tools you need to run your business from the office or from the job sites? Oh, well, I guess it can't all be like Ferguson. Ferguson.com gives you access to real-time inventory, apps to quickly restock your trucks, account and billing information, and shipping and delivery status right from your desktop or mobile device. And with product photos and spec sheets and personalized my lists that make reorders a snap, we've made it easier than ever to do business with us. Whenever and wherever you want. Get started at Ferguson.com.
This is Starla Carr with Provident Financial Group. Are you sure you're on track to reach your retirement goals? Wondering how much money you'll need to last your lifetime? Whether you're retiring in a few weeks or a few years, we can analyze your needs and create a plan that's right for you. Find us online at ProvidentFinancialGroupLLC.com. Securities and advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network.
Provident, partnerships built on trust.
Member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
The Ready to Ride sales event is here. Head to your local Can-Am dealer and gear up for your ultimate adventure. Whether cruising the open road or taking on trails, Can-Am Spyder, ATVs, and side-by-sides are engineered to perform and excite. Hurry in and save up to $3,500 on select 2016 Can-Am models. Get ready to ride at your local Can-Am dealer.
Visit Power Sports HQ in Charleston.
Offer ends soon. Restrictions may apply. See dealer for details.
Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you have to do is call Matex Heating and Cooling to take advantage of Train's Weather Any Season sale. sale. Choose between special financing for 6 years or special trade-in allowances on qualifying train systems. Call 355-9700 or visit us online at mattexservice.com for more information. It's hard to stop a train. Any season, any weather. Matex Heating and Cooling, servicing East Central Illinois.
Subject to credit approval. Call for details.
I'm Jay Lehman, and as a former college and professional athlete, I love Saladmeister. Why? Because it's guilt-free food. Not only is Saladmeister healthy and affordable, but it's also safe for the environment. From their bowls and forks to their lighting and equipment, Saladmeister uses only green products. But the best part is that it tastes so good, you forget it's good for you.
Saladmeister, the masters of salad creation, now open in Champaign.
Protect your future with AA Marshall Home Inspection Services. Buyer's inspection with a buyback guarantee and seller's inspection. No surprises before closing. Owned by me, Aaron Allenbaugh, and my wife Kim, and serving all of East Central Illinois. Get more details and schedule your inspection today at aamarshall.net.
Coach Mike Ditka is not just talking sports. What will he say next? Hear him here Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8 with Brother Johnny and me, Stevie J, on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkman with your 4:30 Sports Center update brought to you by Prairie View Landscaping. Email mypvdiscount@gmail.com for a free quote. That's mypvdiscount@gmail.com. Illini Golf was in action today to start day 2 of the NCAA Regionals from West Lafayette, Indiana, and they are currently placed 6th, with the top 5 teams advancing to the NCAA Finals. They are 5 shots out of that 5th place spot under Florida, Purdue, and Auburn. Best individual score was Nick Hardy with a total of 143. They will tee off tomorrow for the final day of regional play. Nate Shieldhouse is now an on-the-road recruiter for a temporary time while Coach Hardy Nickerson is recovering from an emergency appendectomy surgery. Once Hardy is healthy, Shieldhouse will no longer be on the road, but the NCAA will allow a 10th assistant on-the-road recruiting effective January 9th, so keep an eye out on Nate. The St. Louis Cardinals begin a 2-game series against the Boston Red Sox for some interleague action from Busch Stadium. The pitching matchup is Eduardo Rodriguez for the Red Sox and Lance Lynn for the Cardinals. Lynn gave up 4 runs in his last start, but still has a good ERA of 2.75. Game time is at 7:15 with pregame starting at 6:25. Hear all the action on this radio station, ESPN CU 93.5. The Cubs dropped 2 of 3 to the Cardinals this weekend and get back home for 10 games in a row at Wrigley Field. It starts tonight against the Cincinnati Reds. It's 2 old guys on the mound. It's Bronson Arroyo for the Reds and John Lackey for the Cubs. Chicago will have to watch out for Joey Votto, who has a .317 career batting average at Wrigley Field with 13 homers, 29 doubles, and 48 RBIs in 78 games there. Game time is 7:05. The White Sox fell to the Los Angeles Angels last night 5-3. Mike Trout went deep for his 12th homer of the year. And the Boston Celtics advanced to the Eastern Conference Finals after defeating the Washington Wizards 115-105. That, my friends, is the update.
Thank you, Austin. Hey, mosquitoes, they can be a nuisance, kind of like Cubs fans. But after a mild winter like we had, oh, boy, they're even worse. Oh, boy, all this is like really coming true. Lindy's going to love this, too. Hey, let Prairie View Landscaping get rid of those pesky mosquitoes so you can enjoy the summer outdoors without bugs getting in the way. And since it's Prairie View Landscaping's 25th year in business, they're celebrating by offering up to 25% off their mosquito program. Here's what you want to do. You want to email mypvdiscount@gmail.com for a free quote. That's mypvdiscount@gmail.com. And if you sign up by May 31st, you can win 2 free mosquito control applications out of 4. It's simple. Email Prairie View Landscaping. It's mypvdiscount@gmail.com.
The ping pong balls are going off tonight. And I think people assume they just pick a number or whatever. It's they pick 4 numbers. And then there's a combination.
Okay.
And there's a certain amount of combinations that are the 76ers for the number 1 pick.
Right.
Or for today, it's the Boston Celtics have, 250 out of a possible 1,000 combinations because they have the Brooklyn Nets pick.
Right.
And that all dates back to the Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce trade.
Unbelievable.
It's pretty unbelievable how Danny Ainge has turned the Celtics around, how quickly it's happened, and how good Brad Stevens is as an NBA coach.
And the Celtics could improve in a hurry. Not that they're good already. We know that.
A lot of capital. They got a lot of capital right now.
Without a doubt.
And let's get to the Jupiter's The Crossing phone line. Talk a little NBA draft and lottery with our guy, Michael Weisenberg. You can read his stuff at NBAdraft.net. Michael, let's start here. Who has the most to gain in tonight's lottery?
That's a tough question. Well, I would say, the Lakers certainly could gain another piece if they get one of the top 3 picks. Philadelphia obviously has a lot to gain on the reverse side if they were to get their own pick in the top 3 and then have the Lakers flip to 4, because if the Lakers pick is top 3 protected. So I would say Philadelphia has quite a bit to gain, but there are just a number of teams that have a lot possibly going on tonight.
So we know that the Celtics have the Brooklyn Nets pick. There's some other teams that, their pick could change hands depending on where they land. Can you fill our listeners in on that?
There's the Brooklyn pick is just that one is going to be going to the Celtics. The other pick that is kind of under intrigue, there are a couple that could be exchanging hands. If the Lakers don't get a pick within the top 3, then that pick goes to Philadelphia. And also, if New Orleans were to move up in the lottery into a top 3 selection, their pick is top 3 protected. They are right now, I believe, they would be 10.
Okay.
Their pick is top 3 protected. So if they got a top 3 selection, that pick would go to New Orleans. If not, that pick is going to Sacramento as part of the Boogie Cousins trade. So those are the 2 major picks that could be exchanging hands today.
Michael, not only do you have to have a good memory with this stuff, you got to be fairly smart just to figure out who's picking where in this thing.
Exactly. There's a lot going on.
Well, Michael, what's the prize tonight? I mean, who is the number one prospector? Is there a debate on that this year?
Well, there is a debate, but I think most people, and I tend to lean with Markelle Fultz. And he has great size for a point guard. He's one of those. It's kind of an amazing story. He was a guy who didn't make the varsity team as a sophomore and was in JV. And Washington actually was one of the teams that kept that was recruiting him even as he was playing JV basketball. So that was kind of like the relationship that led to him going to UW, even though they weren't a very good team. And he's so shifty. He can do so many good things on offense. He was like a one-man show at Washington, really. And, they really struggled, but he just has so many things that can possibly translate as an NBA point guard. And even he has size enough to play a combo guard and can play off of the ball as well. So there are just a lot of boxes that Markelle Fultz ticks, and he certainly seems to be the guy that I think most people would favor as the number 1 pick.
Learn all about the draft and the lottery on Twitter, that is. You can follow Michael at NBA Draft Mikey V. It seems like every year, and for good reason, you have a lot of picks of guys that played 1 year in college. They got the freshman year out of the way. Now they're eligible for the draft. Is this going to be another heavy one of those drafts, obviously, this year?
Yeah, it is. It is. Right now, if you look at our draft board, we have a number of freshmen going in the lottery, and it probably won't. It doesn't always turn out that the lottery is like there's never been 14 freshmen selected in the lottery,
right?
But there could be like a good 10 or 11 or so, and it's going to be very top heavy with just every year the draft pretty much annihilates the freshman class.
Yeah.
And you have a number of guys who were the cream of the crop in high school.
Sure.
And they kind of show that and at least show enough promise in college. And the whole thing is projecting going forward. So the guys who are really young, they're the guys who you can kind of get into your mind, these guys really have something going for them in the future. And that projection is really difficult, and they don't always live up to that. But, for the most part, the top of the draft, usually it's going to be the top freshman from that year.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and it works a lot better than drafting them out of high school as well. They get to at least see a year of them. Lonzo Ball. It feels like LeVar Ball is the bigger star in the family right now. Despite all that, does that affect the draft for him? And what do we think of Lonzo Ball, the player? Forget about the shoes. Forget about the father. What do we think of Lonzo Ball, the player?
Well, to me, it always comes down to Lonzo Ball, the player. I don't know how much the NBA is going to really put up with LeVar Ball, or I don't really know how he's going to come in and necessarily control an NBA team. So I think for the most part, people aren't too worried about Lonzo Ball. And, he had a great freshman year at UCLA. He was a consensus, first-team All-American. And he's a tremendous passer. He's one of those guys who doesn't have to score and can still kind of, make a huge impact on the game. He even has really good defensive instincts, great size for a point guard. And I think he's probably going to go in the top 3 picks regardless. Unless there's some other medical factor or anything like that, but I haven't heard of anything so far. My major thing with Lonzo is just the reason I would probably have him, but behind guys like Markelle Fultz and maybe a Josh Jackson, is creating his own offense. And he's not necessarily comfortable doing so. He did well in isolation, but he didn't have a lot of possessions there. UCLA barely ran any pick and roll. His handle is pretty basic. He's not really comfortable driving to the basket off the dribble. And, while his shooting was fantastic from long range, he did next to nothing in the mid-range game. And, there are some legitimate concerns about how he's going to score for himself. But you can plug him in, and he's going to be great in a team concept. So that there are people that are certainly think that Lonzo could contend for the top pick in the draft. I figure he's probably going to end up going 2 or 3, and he's a really good player. So I kind of take LeVar Ball almost out of the equation.
Yeah, Josh Jackson, Lonzo Ball, Markelle Fultz, kind of the top 3 for most people. Who do you like out of that next group, regardless of position? Jason Tatum, Malik Monk, Jonathan Isaac, the big guy out of Florida State, De'Aaron Fox, who had a really good NCAA tournament, the point guard out of Kentucky. Then Dennis Smith, we saw him up close here in Champaign, the point guard out of NC State. Who do you like most out of that next group?
I lean towards Jason Tatum. I know that's kind of a boring answer, but to me, he's a guy who just, again, ticks a lot of boxes. He has good size. I feel like, just his ability in isolation was highlighted most of the year. But he's another guy who I think could do some work without the ball. And people called him a ball stopper, but he's a good passer as well. He's got some tools on defense, and he certainly makes some plays there. And I think his footwork is fantastic. He's got great body control. People worry about his athleticism, but I see him being a guy who ends up being a pretty solid NBA forward. I like Dennis Smith a lot, and I feel like part of the season it was a tough year at NC State, and there were a few situations where people were questioning Dennis Smith. They questioned his defense. They kind of questioned whether shooting will translate, but I think he's going to be a very solid NBA player, and he's explosive, and he has a great read on the game, and he's fantastic at creating his own shot. So, he's kind of a reverse side of Lonzo Ball there. So, he doesn't have the size, and then, you had the injury concerns with him from high school that when he had to sit out his final year there due to the ACL tear. But those are like the guys in the next group that I really like.
Michael Weisenberg, NBADraft.net. Want to localize a little bit with the Big Ten prospects. OG Anunoby, the highest-ranked Big Ten prospect despite his injury last year. Thomas Bryant, kind of surprisingly staying in this thing. But I want to kind of play, should these guys stay in the draft or come back? DJ Wilson out of Michigan, what do you think of him?
There are a lot of people that really like DJ Wilson. I think he kind of helped himself with just how well he measured at the combine. I think he's kind of at a point right now where there's enough intrigue behind him where he could possibly be one of those last few picks in the first round. So I would say between he and Mo Wagner, I would think Wagner should probably go back to school. I think there are a lot of things he can work on. But with DJ, I think there's enough intrigue from what he did at the end of the year with his size, with the shooting, and where, it might be a pretty good move for him to kind of roll the dice.
Yeah, that wingspan that he has is so impressive. How about Caleb Swanigan? Caleb Swanigan, a guy at Purdue that showed he could do everything, step outside and shoot. What do you think of him? What do you think his role would, not role, but what do you think of him as a draft pick, or should he come back?
He's another guy who I would kind of pair him in the DJ Wilson school of a guy who, I don't know what he would necessarily have to prove if he came back. And I would say even more radical with Biggie Swanigan, seeing that he had a year that, it would be pretty difficult to kind of repeat that. And then even if he did, would people not question, you saw in the NCAA tournament when he was guarding Deontay Burton, he was having a tough time staying in front of him off the dribble, stuff like that. To me, Biggie's major issues are kind of whether the athleticism will translate, and as far as being able to step out, then he showed the passing. He's got fantastic hands. He's a total load inside, and he's always going to be that. But it's just those other factors that I think might be kind of under a microscope if he were to come back. So he's a guy that I feel should probably stay in the draft as well.
Can Malcolm Hill, do you think he's got a chance to be drafted from Illinois?
Yeah, I think Malcolm Hill certainly has a chance. There are a lot of seniors make up most of the second round, and there are definitely a lot of guys fighting for those spots, and I'm guessing Malcolm is going to have a chance to get that tryout with a number of teams and just see how he fares with all these other guys fighting for second-round position.
Boy, if you're looking for character, that's the guy in Malcolm Hill. No doubt about it. Michael Weisenberg, I know they're not here. NBADraft.net, NBADraft.net. Follow him on Twitter, at NBA Draft. Mikey V. Mike, it's an exciting night for me because I'm a Sixers fan, and it seems like this is my exciting night every year.
Get 1-4 tonight, huh?
Yes! Let's hope, man.
That's the ultimate hope. That's the ultimate hope.
I will be one happy guy drinking a Bud Light if that happens, Mike. I can tell you that right now.
Fantastic.
Michael Weisenberg, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you, Lon and Jeremy, and I will talk to you guys soon.
All right, buddies. We appreciate it.
So ESPN has this, you play the lottery thing?
Yeah.
And I just got you 3 and 5. Ooh. And you get both Kentucky players, Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox.
I'd be fine with that. I would be absolutely fine with that.
Point guard and a guy who can score a lot.
Done. Put them with the kid last year that got hurt.
Ben Simmons.
And then you've got, Embiid. I don't even know who else we have underneath anymore. It's so sad.
You still got Okafor despite all those trade talks.
Here's what's funny. I'm on just I won't say the name of it, but I'm on some random mock draft, right?
This one got you Lonzo Ball and Malik Monk.
Oh, I don't know if I want that. I really don't know if I want that headache.
Well, a lot of people think Lonzo can be Jason Kidd, man.
Well, okay,
I think that's worth a boisterous father, wouldn't it be?
Sir, your seat is way up there. You see that spot up top? So I'm looking at this random mock draft, and all I wanted to do was see when the first senior from college would be picked. Now, again, this is a mock draft.
We did this like a month ago.
Did we? Did you?
Is it Justin Jackson?
It's not because, no, he's not a senior, though, right?
Is he a junior?
He's a junior.
Oh, yeah, we did the first freshman or sophomore.
Yes, Justin Jackson's the junior out of North Carolina, right? Yeah, he's a junior. Derek White, Colorado, they've got him going 31 to the Atlanta Hawks.
Well, like he's talking about with Swanigan.
Yep.
Swanigan might not be a first-round draft pick. But does it help him at all to come back?
Think of the pressure of having to come back and duplicate what you just did,
And
where you
stay
basically doubled every game.
And stay healthy.
And stay healthy.
I mean, he might as well go get paid.
Yep.
Even if it's $500,000 of unguaranteed contract.
Exactly.
And go get paid to develop.
Right.
Than to wait and just hope you get a higher draft pick. At the end, you're making money playing basketball, and you're expanding the amount of years you can earn basketball dollars, right?
And you're developing against studs.
So people are all like, well, Myers Leonard should come back and be a higher draft pick. Well, he could have been a higher draft pick, but he might make more money over his entire career by being the 11th pick, getting that guaranteed money, and then he gets to his first contract quicker, gets to his second contract quicker. Myers probably going to make $100-something million over his career.
Good for him. It is funny because I get it, and I think everybody understands how it works now, but it is funny.
It's different.
When you're older like me, it was back then, you had seniors, and maybe once in a while a junior would go.
Well, I remember when Elton Brand was the first Duke player to ever leave early.
Yes.
That was 1999.
It's like, whoa.
Elton Brand.
Whoa.
Like, that's not that long ago.
No, it's not.
18
It really
years
isn't.
ago now. But, I mean, that he was the first Duke player to ever leave early. That's really when it changed. I mean, Garnett being a high school player, going top 5. Like, he was one of the first to do that. And then Kobe. And then it all changed a little bit where you're drafting on potential and talent rather than college production.
It's pretty cool. And I know the one thing that seems to have changed a little, and we got to catch a break here. It seemed like there were about 2 or 3 years in a row when this draft was dominated by international guys. Dominated. And it got to the point, honestly, where I was like, look, I don't even know who these guys are, so I'm not even interested in the draft, let alone the NBA at this point. But it seems like it's shifted back now with this rule of one and done. It's shifted back now to where you see more college players that at least you got to see for 1 year.
Yeah, you're not seeing teams just stretch on Frederick Weiss or Nikolai Skidishvili just because they're Europeans and they want the next Dirk Nowitzki.
That's exactly right.
These guys, but the reason they went for some of those guys over the high school players is because those guys at least were pros.
Yep,
for a little bit, and we're playing against them. But yeah, there are still plenty of foreign players in these drafts, and I think we'll continue to see a lot of first-round picks, more second-round picks, because they just stash those guys. They don't have to pay them, and then they're assets for them long-term.
Be cool to watch and see if Malcolm could go sometime in the second round. It's a long shot.
I don't think he will.
Okay.
But I think Malcolm will make plenty of money playing basketball over his career.
No doubt. 359-2255 if you'd like to weigh in. Late for a break, it's the Tay and J Show.
There's nothing better than real Texas barbecue, and no better place to get it than Hickory River Smokehouse. Every cut of beef brisket, pork shoulder, turkey breast, pork loin, and chicken are carefully selected and rubbed with its signature spice blend, infused with hickory smoke for a juicy award-winning flavor, and served up right here in Central Illinois for over 20 years. How about a taste as big as Texas for lunch, dinner, your next get-together, or to watch the big game? You're guaranteed to be the fan favorite. HickoryRiver.com or on North Cunningham in Urbana.
Guidance, trust, protection, service. It's the mantra of GTPS Insurance. When you work with GTPS, you'll never have to call an 800 number in a different state. You deal with people who live and work in our community and know it's important to your business. GTPS is your local source for business insurance, property, general liability, workers' compensation, and group health insurance, and they'll work with you to formulate the best package for the needs of you and your business. Contact a GTPS insurance agent today at 359-9000 or visit online at gtpsinsurance.com.
The sounds of spring and the smell of flowers in the air. They all add up to Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team. That lush green lawnscape is a result of a reputation earned through consistent performance. They become your favorite through quality service and professionalism. Spring Green will service and maintain your lawnscape with seeding, aeration, fertilizing, weed reduction, disease, and insect control. Now the ease and trouble-free convenience of Spring Green's professional lawn care's full program is yours at savings of 20% for new customers. It's backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Over 32 years of satisfied customers reflect their commitment to Champaign-Urbana and the Mattoon-Charleston area. Call Spring Green at 217-359-2111 or online at spring-green.com at 217-359-2111.
Hi, I'm Troy Lands from Lands Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. For a limited time, Lands is offering special financing for 6 years or up to $1,000 trade-in allowance. Your choice, with approved credit on any qualifying trade system. So call Lands at 1-800-AIR-REPAIR for details or find us online at landsinc.com. And remember, it's hard to stop a train. I'm Troy Lands, and you can count on my company because you can count on me.
See Lands or visit train.com for complete program eligibility dates, details, and restrictions.
Are you looking for a new home or planning to refinance your existing home? Hi, this is Todd Duracon from First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana, getting you and your home faster with loan closings in 30 days, mortgage loans, and refinancing that's fast, friendly, and local. We invite you to visit our experienced team of mortgage experts to find out how First Federal Savings Bank can help you with your loan closing in 30 days. For more information, visit 356bank.com. First Federal Savings Bank of Champaign-Urbana. Get what you want out of life. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
When you're heading home, Tay and J are on your way talking sports. Weekday afternoons 3 to 6 here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Latte, Jeremy Warner. Don't forget Cardinal Baseball. You'll hear it right here tonight on ESPN 93.5. Red Sox in town for a 2-game series. Lance Lynn on the hill for the Cardinals. And the Cubbies begin their 10-game homestand. It starts with a 3-game series against the Reds. You can hear that on 105.9.
All right, if it's not involving the Cardinals, or maybe it can. If it's not involving your Cardinals,
okay,
what interleague matchup most intrigues you? If it were like World Series or whatever.
Well, the Yankee Met is always fun.
Yeah.
Let me think here.
I think I'd go Red Sox Cubs.
Red Sox Cubs would be fine.
Even more than Cardinals.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Who would like a
Dodgers,
Houston Astros?
Dodgers, Yankees.
Yeah, that'd be cool. The Astros Rangers used to be cool, but now that the Astros in their American League.
It was pretty cool when they were called the Colt 45s.
Yeah.
That was a pretty cool name. Pretty cool name, not gonna lie.
Back in the day. Who else?
I mean, it would have to include Dodgers, Giants, Cubs, Cardinals.
I still enjoy a White Sox Cubs game. I do.
When the White Sox are relevant, yes.
Right. But I always enjoy it. Seems like the White Sox sometimes get the best of that, even if they're not relevant.
That's true.
Although the Cubs haven't been very relevant either, except for the last couple of years.
We still got that BP Cup, right, from last year? Didn't we win that thing again?
Yeah. Really, what's more important at this point right now?
BP Cup,
that's
man.
What I thought.
I mean, we're not putting the Nationals in there, right? Because they're just not that classic franchise.
Not at all. Florida's not in there. The Rays aren't in
and is
there.
Is it only Yankees, Red Sox? Like,
yes.
You're not putting the Angels or Rangers in there, right? These are all expansion.
Right.
Oakland?
No. I mean,
Detroit?
Giants, yeah, maybe Detroit.
Detroit, I kind of put in that San Francisco.
But who do they latch on to that I'd be excited about?
The American League's dominated by the Yankees. And
how about a Rays Marlins series and you try to make it cool? Like,
what is the least cool? Is it White Sox Padres that we just had?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. The two same teams in Major League Baseball.
We so are. We're like Purdue and Illinois.
How could you spruce up a Marlins Rays series?
I mean, it's Florida.
Like the loser.
Those are probably two of the worst stadiums.
Oh my goodness!
At least the Rays didn't pay what the Marlins paid for that stadium.
Right. Yeah, that would be the worst.
Can we put if Kansas City's bad again? Are they in that realm?
Yeah.
Like if they get bad again?
Because I still don't get excited for a Royals Cardinals series. I don't.
I mean,
the 80s died a long time
ago.
When
Oakland's good, that's awesome.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
like Oakland and San Francisco.
Yeah,
that would be fun. Yeah, I don't know the Cardinals.
Is Milwaukee in the White Sox and Padres realm?
Yes.
Milwaukee?
Yeah. Milwaukee's the team like Houston that used to be in the different league, and now they're in the other league, and it just kind of messed up the whole...
never found kind of like a home there.
No, it just kind of messes up the whole thing. All right, next hour, we're going to welcome in 2 Illini softball players, we think, or 10 or 20, we don't know yet. But Taylor Edwards from Arcola is going to be here, so local knowledge there. We'll do that and more. It is the Tay and J Show.
From soccer practice to home improvement projects, your days are busy. Busey understands. That's why we offer innovative solutions to keep your financial life in order. With Busey's mobile app, deposit checks, transfer funds, and pay bills, whether you're in the boardroom or at the ballpark. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of our many convenient locations for solutions to your banking and wealth management needs. Busey, your dream, our promise. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Going on 5 years, Rock's Place in St. Joseph has become the neighborhood sports bar and grill for a lot of folks in the area. Rock's Place is known for their delicious burgers, and they also have great daily food and drink specials. Plus, Rock's has plenty of TVs, so you can keep tabs on the Cubs and Cardinals all summer long. And while you're there, press your luck on one of Melody Music's video gaming machines. For delicious food, cold drinks, and good company, make it Rock's Place, 101 North Main Street in St. Joseph. Find them on Facebook, ROCHS in St. Joseph.
Got a question? Talk to our experts now at StevieJay.com. Experts are there, ready to answer your questions for free. Home improvement questions? Our experts from Kramer Siding and Windows can help. Thinking you could use some extra help with landscaping? Think Country Arbors Nursery. Experts are online, waiting to talk to you at StevieJay.com. Talk to Dr. Shu and our experts from West Main Dental to keep your smile bright. They are the Stevie J Broadcasting experts. Ask an expert today at StevieJay.com. That's StevieJay.com.
Check out the new BMW Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy.
Reinvent your home. Open your eyes to new possibilities and your mind to smarter ways of doing things. You'll find them at the Home Depot, where the next generation of home improvement makes its home. New products, new tools, and new technology that take home improvement into the 21st century. About the only thing we haven't reinvented is helping you do more for less. That's the same as it's always been. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing.
Check out the new BMW Champaign. It's not like the old Twin City. They have new on-site local ownership since 2013, along with a new state-of-the-art facility. With a Customer First Service Award winner for 2015, BMW Champaign does business your way. Yes, they have tons of cars. Yes, they'll get you what you want. Yes, they discount, deal, and even pick up and deliver. So stop in, ask for Ben, and give BMW of Champaign a look. BMW of Champaign at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy. You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign-Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.
Kathleen Maloney, the White House on the defensive over published reports that President Trump shared classified intelligence with Russia, that information leaked to the press by unnamed sources.
This is clearly a pattern of people releasing sensitive information to further what appears to be someone's agenda.
White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer. President Trump says he shared information during a meeting with Russian officials in an effort to make the U.S. and the world safer.
Our fight is against ISIS. As General McMaster said, I thought he said, and I know he feels, that we had actually a great meeting with the foreign ministers. So we're going to have a lot of great success over the next coming years. And we want to get as many to help fight terrorism as possible.
The president speaking during a meeting with Turkey's President Erdogan. The White House disputing a report that President Trump asked FBI Director James Comey to drop the investigation of ousted National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. The New York Times reporting the president made that request during a February meeting with Comey. The newspaper cites a memo Comey wrote after the meeting. An emergency meeting of the UN Security Council to discuss a strategy to stop North Korea's nuclear ambitions.
This has become more than just a problem. This is a true threat to every country in the world.
U.S. Ambassador Nikki Haley calling on all nations to cooperate with sanctions against Pyongyang.
We have worked well with China. They have really tried to help us in our communications with North Korea. But we've seen where they have strengthened sanctions, other countries are trying to fill that void.
Haley speaking before the Security Council meeting. On Wall Street, the Dow slipping 2 points, S&P losing 1 point, NASDAQ gaining 20. You're listening to Fox News Radio. Fair and balanced.
Summer involves a lot of driving, to camp, to work, to soccer, back home to grab what they forgot, and then back to soccer again. So wouldn't you like to know your car is up for it? Enter Hum by Verizon. Now you can check your car's health from your phone with vehicle diagnostics, drive with more peace of mind thanks to 24/7 emergency assistance, and let the kids stream and game on the go with your car's own Wi-Fi hotspot. Get Hum and get where you're going. Learn more at hum.com. Verizon Wi-Fi available on Hum X only. Data usage applies. Coverage not available everywhere. Visit vzw.com for availability.
Ready for a new tractor? At LS Tractor, we'll be the first to tell you to shop and compare. That's right, shop our competition. We're that confident that the LS Tractor combination of more standard features, better performance, competitive price, and proven commitment to customer satisfaction deliver value that's unequaled by another tractor. Period. Want more tractor for your money? Look around. You'll see there's one that gives it to you. LS Tractor. Excel in your field. Learn more at lstractorusa.com.
Chelsea Manning is released from military prison in Kansas tomorrow. She'll remain on active duty in a special status pending a final appellate review. She was granted clemency by former President Obama after a conviction of illegally disclosing classified information. The worldwide ransomware attack wasn't as bad as it could have been.
Cryptos Logic stopped the ransomware attack that infected tens of thousands of computers in dozens of countries by essentially redirecting the attack to them. Crypto CEO Salim Nino says one of his researchers, Mark Hutchins, saw the harmful code or malware was connecting to an unregistered domain, so he registered the domain.
And so every infected host or every infected computer in the world with this particular ransomware was trying to connect back to now Cryptos Logic servers.
But Nino says it was an unsophisticated attack, and he has no doubt if someone wanted to create an unstoppable, harmful malware attack, they would. As for attributing the attack to a country, he says that's hard to do, as many hackers use misdirection, splicing different pieces of code together from different places. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Hackers claim they've infiltrated Disney and are threatening to leak one of its films unless the company pays up.
Disney won't officially confirm they've been hacked, but sources tell The Hollywood Reporter that Disney CEO Bob Iger told employees about the big breach yesterday. If Disney doesn't pay, the hackers threaten to leak the first 5 minutes of the film online, and if Disney still doesn't pay up, they will release 20-minute increments of the film until they do. We don't know what movie the hackers have their hands on, but sources tell Deadline they think it's Pirates of the Caribbean 5. Dead men tell no tales. In Hollywood, Hillary Vaughn, Fox News.
The coffee was free for some Starbucks customers. A company spokesman says there was a payment system outage at a limited number of stores in the U.S. and Canada due to a technology update. I'm Kathleen Maloney, Fox News Radio.
We got a bell in here.
Yeah, we do. Is that for Illini Inquirer? Decca.
Who brought that?
I don't know. That's a weak bell, though.
Well, you got to put it on something.
Let me try it again.
It's a pretty good bell.
That wasn't bad.
Here's your ESPN Radio 3-day forecast.
Ooh, that was better.
Well, you got to sit on
Yeah,
something.
you got to have some solidity behind it. I don't think that's a word. Solidarity.
Brought to you by Chief Bauer. Trust the experts at Chief Bauer Service Experts to keep you cool all spring and summer long. Call 866-EXPERTS or visit them online at Chief Bauer.
Socialization.com.
That's not socialization.
Just .com. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Tonight, partly cloudy, low of 66. Wednesday, mostly sunny, high 85, low of 67. Thursday, chance of thunderstorms overnight, high 87, low of 53. Right now, sunny, clear, 84 in Champaign-Urbana.
This is big news. Before we get to drive time, we have the best female athlete that has ever stepped on campus coming to studio in about 24 minutes.
That's high praise.
That is, but that's how good Nicole Evans is.
You're putting that out there, huh?
I'm throwing it out there.
With some pretty good athletes here.
Yeah, I better not. I better take that back. No, but we are excited. I just want to throw that out. It's going to be Nicole Evans and Taylor Edwards. So Taylor, local, Arcola, did a great job on the pitching mound this year. And then Nicole Evans, who could be All-American.
Yeah, she joined us last year. She's great.
She's awesome.
She was great on air, too.
Cannot wait. So we're talking to them about 5:30 today. Excited about that.
Drive Time, presented by Honda BMW Champaign. For new and used vehicles, visit their huge inventory at the corner of Neal and Burwash in Savoy, or you can visit them online at drivechampagne.com. Lonte, there's a recap the first 2 hours of the Tay and J Show.
All right, well, we talked a little about the St. Louis Cardinals starting a series against Boston.
Started the big news the other day, though, was Illinois golf.
Yes, it was.
Struggling.
Yes, it was. I was going to get that baseball out of the way, but let's get right to that. And because I kind of forgot, actually. So, Illinois golf.
He will read whatever is on that screen.
I will, no doubt, man. How dare this golf team? They have me now panicked going into the third round. They play 54 holes in the regional. Here's the scoop. The top 5 teams from each regional advance to the NCAA finals. Illinois right now sitting in 6th, and they're 6 shots,
Five
right?
shots.
5 shots back of that 5th spot. So they got some work to do tomorrow.
Right now, New Mexico 6 under, UNLV 3 under, Florida, Purdue, and Auburn all tied at 3 over par. Illinois did not have a good day today.
No.
8 over as a team, and that's 4 golfers. That's not very good. Dylan Meyer had a great start to the day, the number 1 golfer on Illinois, 4 under 32 through the first 9. But over the last back 9, he went double bogey twice and bogeyed 2 more times. Did not shoot a birdie in the rest of the round.
Wow.
Shot 6 over on the back 9. They need more from the number 1 golfer.
They do.
Nick Hardy had a good day. Shot even par. So he is tied for 10th overall, 1 under. He's doing his job. Eduardo Liparelli, a rough day, 7 over. They need more out of a guy who's been here before.
Yeah, I agree.
He's just a sophomore. They need more out of him. Giovanni Taddeotto has been pretty good this tournament. He shot a 2 over today. He's 4 over for the tournament, tied for 26th. He's doing well. But tomorrow they need to make their move.
They do.
This is well within striking distance.
Oh, absolutely.
I think last year they were down 7 strokes going into the final round of the top 5, and they ended up winning the whole dang thing. So it is definitely possible for them to flip this and flip this very quickly.
Yes.
And they do have that experience factor with Meyer, Hardy, and Liparelli, but they need those guys to do their jobs tomorrow.
There's a few things I told you that I like about this. There's 3 teams, essentially, they're chasing. That's 3 teams that one of them could seriously flop. Even if the Illini don't go out and set the world on fire tomorrow, Kenny Chesney. It's one of those where they still could hope for one of these teams to blow up, and that could happen. The other thing is, Illinois is a blue blood, man. And you don't tell me that these teams that are just ahead of them aren't looking back going, oh, crap. Illinois is right behind us. We know what they can do. They did it last year. They've got the talent to come out and just absolutely blow up in a good way. And I mean some low scores. And that's why I think Illinois can do that. And I think they'll establish that early. And, of course, is there anything better than having Mike Small as the guy in their ear tonight? Right. That is perfect for me because that guy is coaching right now. There's not much he can do on the course right now, but tonight he is coaching that team and getting them mentally ready, and you'll see them come out on fire tomorrow.
We also got the Mizzou side of Jeremiah Tillman to the Tigers. We talked with Gabe DeArmond, PowerMizzou.com, in the first hour, and he said there's never been a quicker switch of the fan base's enthusiasm about a program, and why wouldn't there be?
Right.
I mean, Conzo Martin comes in, gets the number 1 recruit in the country. Of course, he had to hire his father as an assistant coach to do it, but he was an assistant at Washington, and they come home to Columbia, where they're from, so he gets the number 1 recruit in the country, and that played a huge role in getting Jeremiah Tillman. Now they add a 4-star center to that. They've had a couple nice guards. They had a couple nice players, but not a great roster returning. But this is a team that will be expected to make an NCAA tournament. And now you add Tillman to the mix with the Illinois rivalry. And he said this one's going to be just like we here, Illinois, Missouri fans are pumped about the bragging rights game, probably for the first time in about 4 years.
I think the cool thing to do is put yourself into Missouri fans' shoes and try to realize how that's that. We talked about it. I'm not sure Illinois has ever been to that depths with regards to basketball. And they've had some bad years, don't get me wrong. But
they won 27 games in 3 years.
That's unbelievable.
They won 7 conference games in 3 years.
They were the bottom of the SEC 3 straight years.
I mean, and think of where they were.
Yes.
With Frank Haith at the end of that thing?
No doubt. No doubt.
You know, and Mike Anderson did a really good job there before going to Arkansas. That was a really good program.
And then all of a sudden now you got the best player in the country coming in, a guy that could be a top 5 NBA draft pick in 2 years. Then you've got Jeremiah Tillman. You've got some other guys coming in. You don't have much back, and some left. So it's still going to be an issue of depth and completing a team, but they should be a lot better.
And Gabe said the excitement level is awesome. Just getting to the tournament would be huge. And that's only the expectation in the next couple of years because Porter's going to leave early.
Yep.
I think Tillman might want to leave earlier than some people would like him to, or he should. But then what are you going to be 4 or 5 years from now?
Right.
We haven't seen Konzo's program go 4 or 5 years.
Nope.
It's been 3 years everywhere he's been, and he's only made 2 NCAA tournaments.
Wow.
So, yeah. I mean, long term, I think there will be some concerns, or at least a lot of unknown about what a Konzo Martin program looks like. You know, we could say the same thing maybe about Brad Underwood, but he's made the tournament 4 straight years.
Absolutely.
And 3 of them at Stephen F. Austin.
That's unbelievable. And just that bragging rights game in general and how cool that is going to be. And even the night that it happens. I mean, you're going to be able to watch Jeremiah Tillman before that night, but the night it's going to happen, to sit there and think about facing him is going to be fun.
I put it on Twitter last night. Most anticipated non-conference Illinois basketball game since.
Ooh.
You know, some people said Notre Dame when the renovated State Farm Center.
Yeah, that was cool.
This one's bigger than that.
Because that was lose night, right?
Some people said North Carolina-Illinois rematch the year after the championship when Hansbrough was a freshman.
Yeah.
Remember Barnes was a freshman. They came in here, too.
I do remember
that. Was a big game. Lon even got on Media Row that game.
I did.
Some people said Wake Forest, Illinois.
Oh, wow. Well, that game.
Well, they're saying since that.
Since then, right.
That
could be the case.
Would you put the North Carolina games?
I think Carolina. I mean, anytime you have Carolina coming to town, that's pretty cool. I would say that's probably the one for me. Yeah.
Probably the most anticipated bragging rights game in a while.
No doubt.
So last time I think they were both ranked was...
remember, and they both used to be ranked every time.
I remember.
I do. Mm-hmm. I remember that. I remember my childhood. Mm-hmm.
We also talked to Carpin here about his engagement. You can listen to that in the 4 o'clock hour. And we talked with Michael Weisenberg, NBADraft.net, about the lottery tonight. I know a lot of people probably don't know a lot of these prospects because they're just freshmen. Right. But there's some intrigue tonight because you got the Celtics could get the number 1 overall pick. They have the best odds to get the number 1 overall pick because of that trade with Brooklyn with Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce, the aging stars. Oh, and then they have Brooklyn's pick next year as well.
What?
Yeah. Which is probably going to be top 3 again.
Good for Boston.
So Boston has a lot of assets. That's why people mention him with Jimmy Butler all the time, or Paul George, whatever it is.
Do you see the Celtics, if they get that top pick, do you see them trading at all?
No.
I don't either.
No.
I don't either.
I think they're going to keep accruing assets and try and sign a free agent.
Okay.
I think that's what they're going to try to do. But then the Sixers.
Yep.
I mean, the Lakers, if they're not in the top 3, the Sixers could have 2 of the top 5 picks as well.
That'd be huge.
Yeah. And then the Kings could have 2 of the top 10. It's a lot of intrigue this year with some of those
picks. And
the
Bulls can get in the top lottery. They can do it, right? But it has to be, a Kings?
Oh, the Kings are at number 8. That means 3 teams under them have to leap them.
Okay.
Which is like...
impossible.
0.0007%.
Basically, they're not getting in there. I did see on the one mock draft of them taking the kid out of Duke.
Luke Kennard?
Yep, Luke
Kennard.
Kennard.
He can shoot.
You'd be all right with that, wouldn't you?
We need shooters.
Is that, more than anything, probably what you need. I agree.
We didn't bring this up yet, but I did want to put it out there. Hardy Nickerson is off the recruiting trail.
Oh, yeah, I saw your tweet.
Because of his emergency appendectomy, and that means Nathan Schulhaus is now on the road recruiting for Illinois. They got a waiver from the NCAA, so you can have 9 assistants on the road recruiting at any time.
I am fine with that.
I think this is great for Nate.
Yep.
And I've mentioned it before on this show. When that 10th assistant comes up January 9th,
boom.
He is a no-brainer.
No doubt.
He is an absolute no-brainer, and that's what that rule is going to be great about that rule, is younger guys are going to have a chance to do this. Nate's a support staffer right now. He can't recruit on the road except for this waiver temporarily, but he's had experience doing this. When Beckman got fired, he was promoted to an assistant. He's a U of I all-time great, holds records here at Illinois.
And you are more than pleased with him.
Very personable.
Yes, exactly.
People know who he is in this state.
Right.
He's from Kansas City, can help you out in St. Louis, and he's a bright football mind as well. I think he'd be a no-brain hire in January 9th. And this move, allowing him to go on the road recruiting, kind of suggests that Lovey knows it too.
Yeah, that he's going to be there. And when I say that's great, that's awesome, I'm fine with it. That doesn't mean I wouldn't want Hardy out there. But I'm fine with Nathan Schulhaus representing the U of I.
That's Drive Time presented by Honda BMW of Champaign. For new and used vehicles, visit their huge inventory at the corner of Neal and Burwash and Savoy, or visit them online at drivechampaign.com.
All right, Nicole Evans, Taylor Edwards, some softball players from Illinois getting ready for the NCAA tournament. They will be in next to join us. Hey, if you find it difficult to talk about money, you're not alone. Many married or committed couples struggle to have the money talk. According to a study by Fortune, more than 40% don't know how much their partner earns. What? According to a study by Fortune, more than 40% don't know how much their partner earns.
Some people don't like talking to each other.
Okay. 40. That just blows my mind. 43% incorrectly quote their partner's income. She makes $500,000. And 10% missed the mark by $25,000 or more. Wow, I should have read this before. I'm doing a Ron Burgundy. Busey suggests asking these questions. I agree, to understand.
Wait, I haven't?
Right? And prepare for your financial future together, no matter your stage in life. Communication, people. Busey will be there along the way. Visit Busey.com or stop by one of their convenient locations for solutions to your personal, business, and wealth management needs. Member, FDIC. I'm a member.
ESPN Radio Sports Beat. From Charlotte, here's Dari Noka.
Thank you, sports. This is why sports are the ultimate reality television. You never know what you're really going to see, and nothing is scripted. Yes, I've said a few times that the results of the NBA season will very likely play out as though they could have been scripted by anybody back in October, Warriors, Cavaliers 3, but even then, we thought we'd get a few chapters that we could not have written ourselves, like Russell Westbrook's 42 triple-doubles, like, I don't know, the Greek Freak becoming a legitimate superstar, like the Knicks. Okay, we maybe saw that one coming. And like Kelly Olynyk rocking home 26 points to be the difference in getting the Celtics to the conference finals. I still maintain they can't and won't beat the Cavs, but I'll take a few more surprise pages in that book. In 60 seconds, he's the anti-Draymond Green.
The clock is ticking down. It's all on the line for the relentless pursuit of perfection. Tissot Swiss Watches delivers the precision and accuracy expected in your timepiece. This is playoff time. This is winning time. This is your time. Tissot, official watch of the NBA playoffs. Now available at Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry, and Jared.com.
Your car has lots of lights. You've got headlights, interior lights, the light that comes on when you open your glove box. But there's one light that's the best of the bunch, your check engine light. And at AutoZone, we have the tools to help you troubleshoot the real problem for free. Whether it's something serious or something simple like a loose gas cap, you'll get a MyZone health report to help save you money and hassle down the road. So if your check engine light comes on, come on over to AutoZone and let's get you what you need.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Good for Greg Popovich in a tirade that couldn't have been more different from the one-word in-game interview answers we're used to from the Spurs head coach. He lashed out yesterday against Zaza Pachulia. And it wasn't some Draymond Green on Kelly Olynyk, he's a dirty player rant. No, this was different, completely different, well thought out with examples from past games Pop has coached in against Pachulia. And it's proof that when you make a strong, well thought out argument, you have a little credence. Draymond Green whining about Olynyk being dirty when he himself is referred to as the nutcracker, that lacks basis. Pop blasting Zaza in anger of Pachulia's double-step closeout that resulted in Kawhi Leonard landing on his foot and injuring his ankle Sunday, that's legit. Pop is angry, and he's always been the classic representation of a team he's led to 5 championships, and you'd better believe that team is disgusted too. The series changed when Kawhi went out, and as long as he either can't play or can't play at 100%, the Spurs have 0% of a shot. Game 2 tonight in Oakland with the ESPN Radio Sports Beat.
It's warming up around Champaign-Urbana, and that means it's time to get outside and ride in a Polaris off-road vehicle. And the best time to buy is during the Polaris Spring Sales event. You'll find great financing, plus rebates up to $2,000. You'll even get a free 2-year extended warranty on any full-size Ranger or any Sportsman 450 or 570 ATV. See your Polaris dealer now. Offers valid through May and vary by model. No charge for promotional 2-year extended warranty. See dealer for details. Off-road vehicles can be hazardous to operate. Always wear a helmet and take a safety training course.
Join the Prairie Lands Council for their 2017 Distinguished Citizens Dinner, this year honoring the Atkins family. Wednesday, May 17th at Stone Creek Golf Club. Don't miss this fun evening with heavy hors d'oeuvres and drinks, along with a wonderful program and awards presentation. Tickets for this event honoring 2017 Distinguished Citizens are on sale now. Support Scouting. $250 per person or $400 per couple. Buy tickets today by calling 531-0218. That's 531-0218.
DP Dough is the original calzone company, and they cater all types and sizes of events, from office orders to private parties to entire visiting football teams. Everyone will be sure to enjoy something different than the same old sandwiches or pizza. DP Dough also delivers to nearly all of Champaign, Urbana, and Savoy until late at night. So give them a call or order online when you're hungry and no one else is delivering. With over 1 million calzones served since opening in 2006, DP Dough is sure to satisfy and fill you up. DP Dough, the original calzone company.
Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday morning 7 to 9, here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
It's the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lonte, Jeremy Warner. We've got the update coming up. I was just looking at this. Nicole Evans, 361 average, 17 homers, 55 ribbies, 806 slugging percentage.
That's pretty good.
I mean, those are like little league stats.
It's like Trout numbers.
Yeah. We'll ask her point blank, are you better than Mike Trout? They both play the outfield. Nicole's in left.
They both crush baseballs.
They both crush. Or whatever. I mean,
spherical things they crush.
Spherical things.
Of different diameters.
And Taylor Edwards, 14-2 on the mound.
Pretty good.
So we got a couple stars coming in soon. But first, our star in our heart. That's Austin! Dinner, beloved.
Hello, I'm Austin Berkland with your 5:30 Sports Center update brought to you by Prairie View Landscaping. Email mypvdiscount@gmail.com for a free quote. That's mypvdiscount@gmail.com. Atlanta Golf was in action today to start day 2 of the NCAA Regionals from West Lafayette, Indiana, and they are currently placed 6th with the top 5 teams advancing to the NCAA Finals. They are 5 shots out of that 5th place spot under Florida, Purdue, and Auburn. Best individual scores Nick Hardy with a total of 143. They will tee off tomorrow for the final day of regional play. Nate Shieldhouse is now on the road recruiter for a temporary time, while Coach Hardy Nickerson is recovering from an emergency appendectomy surgery. Once Hardy is healthy, Shieldhouse will no longer be on the road, but the NCAA will allow a 10th assistant on the road recruiting member effective January 9th. So keep an eye out on Nate. The St. Louis Cardinals begin a 2-game series against the Boston Red Sox for some interleague action from Busch Stadium. The pitching matchup is Eduardo Rodriguez for the Red Sox and Lance Lynn for the Cardinals. Lynn gave up 4 runs in his last start, but still has been good with an ERA of 2.75. Game times at 7:15 with pregame starting at 6:25. Hear all the action on this radio station, ESPN-CU 93.5. The Cubs dropped 2-3 to the Cardinals over the weekend. Yes! That's for you, Lindy. And get back to home for 10 games in a row at Wrigley Field. It starts tonight against the Cincinnati Reds. It's 2 old guys on the mound tonight, Bronson Arroyo for the Reds and John Lackey for the Cubs. Chicago will have to watch out for Joey Votto. He has a .317 career batting average at Wrigley Field. The White Sox fell to the Los Angeles Angels last night 5-3. Mike Trout went deep for his 12th homer of the year. They play tonight. It is Holland versus Ramirez, and the Boston Celtics advance to the Eastern Conference Finals after defeating the Wizards 115-105. That, my friends, is the update.
All right, it's the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lonte, Jeremy Warner. You can always text the Cheap Hour text line. It's 217-359-2255.
Sorry, 359-2255. We'll talk with Nicole Evans and Taylor Edwards, Illini softball players in studio. They start the Lexington Regional.
Okay.
That's this Friday, 11 a.m. They play Marshall. So you got a lot of sports, spring sports action. And I'll give Illinois this. Josh Whitman came in to a cloudy, stormy athletic department, right?
Without a doubt.
And
I know where you're going here.
He had to fix a lot of the fall and winter sports. And volleyball, obviously, Hambly leaves, but volleyball was a bright spot. Wrestling's a bright spot. Men's gymnastics has been a bright spot. But even 2 of the coaches that did pretty well here, Kim Landris goes to NC State, Hambly goes to Stanford. He's had to clean up a lot there, fix a lot there.
He has.
Spring sports?
You're pretty easy, isn't it?
Pretty good.
And Mike Thomas, how good was he with the hire of tire repair?
Yeah. Got one.
I mean, everybody goes 1 for 4 or whatever, right? That'll get you.
I think you're promoting Mike Turk. That's a good call.
Well, that was good, too.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. That was a pinch hit single. So, I mean, I don't mean Mike Turk. Sorry, I don't mean that like that.
No, but it was sitting there
exactly
right there for you.
Exactly right. I mean, that's a bases loaded and he had a sack fly. Essentially,
there you go.
I mean,
that's a better one.
He got
the
run home.
Fly.
He got the run home.
But yes, you had the golf program doing this. Brad Dancer, who probably doesn't get enough credit.
He doesn't.
For keeping this program really good, even though he said he was a terrible coach this year.
Right.
How
funny is that?
He's done a great job with that program.
Yes.
Keeping them relevant, keeping them Sweet 16 almost every year, it seems like. And they're going to be hosting an NCAA championship in 2022.
Right.
So obviously he's done a really good job. The softball program, now 2 NCAA tournaments in a row.
Which is fantastic.
Baseball got to get this thing going.
I agree with you.
And that's where Whitman really is going to be key, is putting money into those facilities and finding that money. That's the most important thing is with these big projects, he's putting football and basketball first, as he should.
Right.
I know that's frustrating for Dan and all the guys in that program, but they need a new stadium. If you really want to compete, they need a new stadium, so they need to find the people who can help get them that.
I'm anxious to talk to Dan Hartleb at the end of this season because he's got a tough road here.
He's going to join us tomorrow.
Oh, is he? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm anxious to talk to him to just say kind of what went wrong because it seemed like, and maybe I'm wrong here, you can help correct me, but it seemed like he was pretty excited about this team. He still knew, and we all knew, there were a lot of unknowns about this squad, but this is a team that was fairly young last year, and they did pretty well. I mean, considering. And then this year, it's kind of not been that way. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to talk to Coach and kind of see what went wrong a little bit in his eyes with regards to this team. But hopefully next year, these kids have grown, they've learned. Hopefully next year will be a big year for Illinois baseball.
Nicole Evans, Taylor Edwards, Illini softball players are going to be in studio next.
I am going to have Taylor Edwards pitch, and I'm going yard.
Okay, I got the bat over here.
Okay, get it out. Let's go. Here we go. It's the Tay and J Show.
Hey, it's Stephanie Pratt with Coldwell Banker, the Real Estate Group. I want you to rock out with me on Saturday, May 20th at the Effingham Performance Center to the legendary Vince Neil, the voice of Motley Crue. Out to all your favorite Crew hits, and we'll get a limo down and back with Dwayne at Bishop Platinum Limousine. Go to ESPNCU.com and sign up to win tickets today.
It's warming up around Champaign-Urbana, and that means it's time to get outside and ride in a Polaris off-road vehicle. And the best time to buy is during the Polaris Spring Sales event. You'll find great financing, plus rebates up to $2,000. You'll even get a free 2-year extended warranty on any full-size Ranger or any Sportsman 450 or 570 ATV. See your Polaris dealer now. Offers valid through May and vary by model. No charge for promotional 2-year extended warranty. See dealer for details. Off-road vehicles can be hazardous to operate. Always wear a helmet and take a safety training course.
The sounds of spring and the smell of flowers in the air, they all add up to Spring Green, America's neighborhood lawn care team. That lush green lawnscape is a result of a reputation earned through consistent performance. They become your favorite through quality service and professionalism. Spring Green will service and maintain your lawnscape with seeding, aeration, fertilizing, weed reduction, disease, and insect control. Now the ease and trouble-free convenience of Spring Green's professional lawn care's full program is yours at savings of 20% for new customers. It's backed by their guarantee of satisfaction. Over 32 years of satisfied customers reflect their commitment to Champaign-Urbana and the Mattoon-Charleston area. Call Spring Green at 217-359-2111 or online at spring-green.com at 217-359-2111.
Exciting indoor football is back Saturday, May 20th with the Bloomington Edge indoor football team at the Coliseum in Bloomington. Saturday, May 20th, head to Bloomington to see the Bloomington Edge take on Liberty at 1:05 p.m. Buy your tickets now at bloomingtonedge.net. May 20th is Education Day, and the Bloomington Edge will attempt to set a state record for the biggest game of musical chairs at halftime with kids 12 and under. They'll also be honoring distinguished officers from the Department of Corrections and saluting athletes from Special Olympics of Illinois. Don't miss this game. Buy your tickets at bloomingtonedge.net or call 484-840-EDGE.
Life is full of twists and turns. You can't see the unknown, but you can certainly prepare for it. Pekin Life Insurance Company offers a variety of term and whole life insurance policies that are designed to meet the needs of individuals and their families.
Options include transitional life, universal life, preferred whole life, family term life, and many others. Visit PekinInsurance.com or ask your local Pekin Insurance agent about an affordable, beyond the expected life insurance policy that's right for you.
Hi, it's Stevie J. Start your day with me along with Diane Ducey, weekday morning 7 to 9, here on ESPN Radio 93.5.
It is the Tay and J Show, ESPN Radio 93.5. Lonte, Jeremy Warner, and we've welcomed in greatness on two accounts.
For once.
For once, right.
There's actually greatness in this room.
We have finally reached status that we've tried to get for 7 years. All right, we are welcoming in the studio a couple of Illini softball players. That's senior Nicole Evans and sophomore Taylor Edwards. How are you guys? I'll let Nicole talk first. How are you, Nicole?
Doing great. Just got done with a great practice and film session, so we're ready to head out to Kentucky.
Last year, you guys came in. It was you, and then who was the second baseman?
Allie Balk.
And you guys were filthy.
Yeah.
And this year, you're like clean. Well, okay, I was going to say,
a little bit.
You guys look clean this year. I was like, what, is this coach not practicing you hard? Or what?
We sweated all the dirt off.
We think of like a basketball practice where they go, what's a softball practice?
Yeah.
Like how difficult can it get, Taylor, in a softball practice?
Well, our coaches do a great job of applying the pressure and kind of being the other team at practice. So it's our job as a team to come together and get the job done. But if we don't get dirty on a ground ball, then we're running laps. Or if we don't slide when we're supposed to slide, then we have consequences. So it's intense and it's fun, but that's what makes us pull together and be successful at practice.
I want to know, are the pitchers, do you guys during practice, you just getting fanned and stuff down the right field line? I mean, is it just easy for pitchers or what?
I wouldn't say easy, especially being a pitcher. I think that sometimes the other players think that it's easy on us, but we have our fair share of running in the bullpens and power drills that Coach Lance makes us do, but it's all to make us better, so we appreciate it.
Nicole, I want to ask you, I mean, this is year 2 of Tyra Perry, and we're 2 for 2 with NCAA tournaments. What now? I think I asked you this last year, but now that you've seen 2 years of it, what's different? What did she bring to this program that was lacking before?
I'd definitely say just expectation. We've had good teams in the past with our previous coaches, but Coach Perry came in expecting us to be in the tournament, expecting us to, break records, expecting all these things, and just really realizing those expectations has really changed the program around.
She always looks so calm. Like even the Big Ten tournament, when they interviewed her, she's just real calm. She's got the shades on, just real relaxed. Is she like that, or can she get a little rambunctious, I guess?
She can. It's funny because when she asks us to rotate, she'll ask me to yell. Because I'm a loudmouth and she's pretty quiet. But yeah, I mean, when she needs to, she'll apply that pressure, like Tay said. But most of the time, she's just joking around and drinking water and everything else.
I love it.
Nicole, Lon was asking before we get on, are you going to be an All-American?
I
mean, it's not often we can bring that up with Illini softball players. I mean, you just broke the career home run record. You're having one of the best seasons we've ever seen for a hitter in Illini softball history. What's clicked for you this season? Obviously, you've been a good player your entire career.
Sure.
But what has clicked this year?
I think number one, like our pitchers pitch to us all the time. Tay, we were just talking about it at practice. Tay pitched to me. And having the caliber of pitchers that we have on our team who we get to face all the time has made all of our hitters better. I mean, Coach Lance coming in and pitching to us. I mean, if you see him on the mound, he can spin the ball. So hitting off him, and then really we talk about hitting with Coach Perry, Coach Trout, Coach Liv all the time. And so just talking through different situations and learning what kind of hitter that I can be and what I've become has made all the difference.
Is it hard not to put pressure, Nicole, on yourself now that, like, with the Big Ten tournament and then now that the NCAA tournament, of knowing how good you've been this year and hoping that continues in this tournament? You can't do that. You know that. Mm-hmm. But is it hard not to do that?
Definitely. It always is in the back of your mind, but you try not to think about it. But it's really easy for me because 1 through 9, we have amazing hitters. And then on the other side, we have amazing defense and pitchers. So it's really easy to not have any pressure. People would come up and ask me about the home runs. I'm like, if it comes, it comes. If not, you know what, we're having a great season. And I have a bunch of people who can hit behind me who hit home runs.
No doubt.
Taylor, how do you pitch to Nicole? Like, how would you approach that?
High and tight.
Oh, man. Yeah, try to jam her. The benefit for the pitchers is you see the hitters over and over again, so you know their strengths, you know their weaknesses. And as a pitcher, you definitely want to pitch to their weaknesses because if you leave the ball hanging in the middle on a hitter like Nicole, you're going to get it smashed right back at you. And I learned that earlier in the season.
What happened?
She sent a line drive right back at me, and it got me.
Ooh.
But I was blessed and lucky enough to walk away with no injuries. So that's the kind of things that make pitchers better. Making us capitalize, or them capitalizing on our mistakes, just lets us know that we need to get better. But it also helps them too.
I'll flip that around then. Nicole, how do you approach Taylor? Like, what's the scouting report on Taylor?
Oh, she's pretty tough on the mound. I mean, this pitcher can field her position, so I try and hit it away from her in the outfield. But, like she said, we make each other better. If she makes a mistake, I capitalize on it. If I make a mistake, she definitely capitalizes on it. And, I mean, our pitchers have made us so much better, and that's why our averages are up.
Yeah. I wanted to ask Taylor real quick. Taylor Edwards from Arcola, of course, local girl. She's a sophomore on the Illinois softball team. Nicole Evans joining us as well, a senior. Taylor, it's unique, and we can touch on the Cola thing. You've got Aaron Walker from Tuscola, and you, of course, from Arcola. But talk about Brianna Wonderly and what she's meant. She took the ball, of course, at the Big Ten tournament, looked great.
212 innings this year.
It's unreal. And I assume that's somebody that you and Nicole can look up to and really learn from. What has it been like to learn from Brianna and what she's done this year? Yes,
definitely. She's been there. She's been the one to want the ball in those big situations. And being on the sideline, being able to watch her in that situation just kind of gives me a mentality of what I need to look like next year whenever she's gone. But she does a great job of encouraging us whenever we come out of the games. But the biggest thing that I learned from Bree is to be big in big situations. She's had situations where the bases are loaded, maybe one out, and she gets out of it. She's tough, and she visualizes herself really getting in there and being successful, and that's why she does what she does.
Yeah, that first game of the Big Ten tournament, right? Bases loaded in that first inning.
We had Coach Perry on the other day, Taylor, and she said, I've told Taylor this before, we need more out of her. And it feels like she is trying to prime you up for that spot. So what have you learned as a sophomore as you take on bigger role?
I would say the biggest thing is knowing that I don't have to do everything by myself. Yeah. As the role gets bigger, there is a little bit more pressure, but this is definitely a team sport. It may seem like moment to moment that it's an individual sport, especially being a pitcher, but if you lose that mindset and realize that your job is to pitch the ball where the coach calls it, then it makes it simple, and that takes the pressure off. And once you buy into your team and buy into realizing that no matter where the ball's hit, that they're going to make a great play, and that really kind of amps up what a pitcher can do.
If I'm spending a day in Arcola, what should I do?
You should watch your buggies ride by. You should visit the rock room.
Eat dinner at Taylor's house.
Oh, yeah?
What's the specialty at the Edwards house?
My mom has invited the team over for dinner multiple times, and it's been Mexican, it's been barbecue. I don't know. It's been a little bit of everything, and it's just a fun time. She's a great cook.
The old Purple Riders. You got to go down and check out all the state titles, right, that you guys have. Now, do you? This is the last one, and then I promise, Nicole. Do you and Aaron Walker actually talk? Or, I mean, is the Tuscola-Arcola thing real? I mean, do you just look at each other like, whatever?
Outside Illini softball, it might be real, but once you get into the team, man, I'm telling you, it doesn't exist. She's done a great job this year, and we fed off each other. Her coming into the program definitely motivated, I think, both of us.
That's
because,
cool.
We want to bring in as many hometown fans as we can, and I don't know, we just want success for each other as much as we want.
I think it's cool. Okay, Nicole Evans. Get in here, you All-American. What does this team need to do different, you think, to get it done in the NCAAs that start Friday?
You know what? I don't know if it's different, but I think we just need to continue what we've been doing from this weekend. We came in hot and swinging our bats and playing amazing defense. I mean, we have Ruby and Lee making amazing plays, and then our slappers getting on base for us, and then people like Steph hitting balls over the fences. And I think we just need to continue with that mindset and knowing we've been here before. So coming into the same place that we were last year, we're going to surprise some people.
Yeah, what's the spring sports? You guys have provided a lot of excitement around here. I mean, golf, tennis, baseball a couple years ago. Most people are gone off campus now, but what's this been like for softball to get a little bit of this, finally, some attention here?
Definitely. I mean, we've watched people like golf and tennis and how amazing they are at their sports. and to just go in and be a part of that and kind of look up to them, and now we're kind of getting to their level. It's amazing. We definitely look up to those teams, and we really just want to do as much as we can for our school.
I've asked a lot of the coaches this, but I haven't asked a lot of the student athletes about this. Josh Whitman coming in.
He's amazing.
you looked up to this. Yeah, what's been the impact for you guys of him being here?
He's amazing. I mean, talking about expectations, he's come in and made Illinois, we expect to be in these positions. We expect to go to the NCAAs. He comes to our games, with his little daughter and his wife, and just to have that support of your athletic director coming. I was on student athlete advisory committee, and he came and he gave us his phone number and said, if you guys ever need something, call me. And that's cool. I mean, that's our AD of the whole school.
Yeah, he's not handing us his number.
What's going on? I just thought of that.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot say enough about Josh Whitman and him coming in, and he really made everyone believe that we will win.
He's fantastic. Mm-hmm. He truly is fantastic. It's amazing. All right, Marshall, real quick. You've got a role with Marshall and Nicole. You said they're fast, right? This is a fast team. Mm-hmm. So how do you combat that, I guess?
Well, Coach Liv is really, really fast, and she ran for us today, and we had all of our slappers in there. So they put some pressure on us, and we handled it. So we're definitely ready to go in there. I mean, we put pressure on teams, too.
Sure.
So we're ready to do that right back to them.
And it's on ESPN. I mean, how cool is that? That's another thing I don't ask. It's pretty neat to know you're on ESPN. I mean, Taylor Arcola, here we go on ESPN. I mean, that's a pretty cool thing, not only for obviously you guys, but for college softball in general. That's awesome.
Right. I guarantee that every single one of the girls on this team was sitting on the couch at home about 10 years ago wishing that they were on ESPN.
Right.
And now we get the chance to do that and know that there's other girls at home sitting on the couch watching us and just aspiring to be what we've worked up to. So I'm excited to just put forth our best work and kind of inspire the younger generation.
Nicole, we talked to a lot of football, basketball players about their sports careers, like their professional careers. Softball, obviously, there's not an NFL. I mean, there's some professionals, but how is that different for softball players? Because, maybe there's not as much money to make, but, what's your kind of idea moving forward? Because you love the sport, but what's the route you go with it?
Definitely. I think it makes softball unique, actually, because you're not going to get paid the big bucks when you go and play professionally. So all the people playing love to play softball, love to hang out with the little kids who come to the games. So that's, I think, is really a strength in our sport. If I can play, great. I would love to continue doing it. But I'll be here next year hanging out with these guys, coaching them up. So just, like I said, there's no NFL. You're not going to make, $100 million playing softball.
Right.
But, we have great education, so we can really go out and do whatever we want.
Would you love to coach one day?
I think I would. I don't know at the collegiate level. I coached for a few years in high school, college. Coached. Now they're all grown up. They're old. But
oh boy, don't go there.
Juan's got his 30th high school reunion.
Let's don't go there. It would be cool though to see you do that. I think that'd be. I mean, you'd have to understand though that not everybody's hitting 361 with 17 home. That'd be your issue, Nicole. Why aren't you better? No, I'm kidding.
Nicole, who do you guys like? Do you guys watch baseball or softball? Is there a certain player you guys love to watch?
I like watching Big Poppy swing. That's who I look up to.
We don't get to see it anymore.
Nice.
I know.
What do you take from Poppy's swing? Why do you like it so much?
Just his power. His load, he creates so much power. He's a big guy, too.
Yes.
But he creates a lot of power, and his swing is effortless.
Yeah.
Why would she bring that up when the Cardinals have to play the Red Sox?
I know.
I'm like, why?
I'm a Cubs fan, so you know.
Oh, boy. Well, that's the end of Nicole Evans. Thanks for coming in. Taylor Edwards is going to finish off our conversation. No, I'm kidding.
Taylor, being a softball pitcher, it's so much different than baseball. Right. Do you look towards a baseball pitcher, or do you look towards a softball pitcher? What do you?
Honestly, I look to our players and players in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I look to Bree. I look to some of the top pitchers in the nation. We just faced Sarah Gronewagen, who's an awesome pitcher, and just try to draw as much wisdom and tactics from them as you can.
Do you think there will ever be a woman in Major League Baseball?
Yes.
Yeah?
I do.
What do you think it's going to take for you guys?
I don't know.
Because I like asking you guys, because you guys have a different perspective on it.
Yeah, that's true. I think there will be. I think it will be a few years out still. But female sports are definitely starting to be seen on a more equal plane, which is amazing for us to see. Like Taylor was saying, when we were growing up, there would be like 2 softball games out of the whole year on television.
Right.
And now, they're blocking out a whole week for us to be on TV and everything like that. So I think we're moving in the right direction. But, yeah, we'll have to, bulk up a little bit. But
it'd be nice to get the Olympics back, like right, the softball back in the Olympics.
We're in it 2020 now.
Right?
So
that was my favorite event. That was honestly my favorite event of watching the Olympics.
It's so exciting now that girls can grow up knowing that they can go to the Olympics. I mean,
Right.
like you said, with
Jenny
professional.
Finch, me growing up, I mean,
exactly.
she was the biggest name.
I know when I worked at WA&D in Decatur, that the softball team, the U.S. team, came through and played over at Borg Warner, and that was now I'm gonna like Lisa Fernandez, right?
Yeah.
Lisa Fernandez, Dottie. She was a shortstop, but I mean, just the best of the best,
Oh, yeah,
and to be able to
Bustos.
they played an exhibition game against the Lady Pride over there, and it was so cool to not only watch them play, but to get a chance to talk to them and meet them and stuff. I mean, it was really cool. All right, Friday at 11 a.m. Is that right? Are you guys early risers? You're going to be up and ready. You'll be ready to roll.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Both of us are actually. We're
guys
up
are
before anyone else on our team.
Oh, great. Taylor and Nicole are up.
What's the setup before a game? Like, what are you guys eating? What do you do to get ready for a game?
Well, Taylor and I are down there before everyone else about an hour, and then
that's a humble brag. I don't even know that was a humble brag. I was just bragging.
Are you like mom when they're walking in, like, well, it's about time to get down here?
No, it's pretty funny. Nicole will have her tea, and I'll have my coffee. We'll just be sitting there having breakfast.
We're like old ladies.
Gossiping. You got the paper open. I think that's awesome.
What do you eat before a game? Like, you don't carbo load before a game. So what do you eat?
Can't ask Taylor because Taylor is the healthiest person I've ever met in my life. So I'll go through what Tay eats. Tay will get a bowl of fruit, and then if she would have 5 bowls of vegetables, and then she'll have about 3 cups of coffee, and she's ready to go.
She's ready to roll. Everybody else is eating waffles.
You know, we always see that picture of Taylor flexing on the News Gazette.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you bench more than Tate or Tay?
Than me?
Yeah.
Yeah, which Tay benches more? I bet you do.
I don't know.
I'm like 130, I think. Maybe.
You might have me.
How much is the bar? 45? And then I put 45s on the other. What is that, 130? That's about all I got, Taylor. Is that it? I got you still?
I think you do.
Maybe one more year.
Yeah. I stick to body weight and dumbbells, so we'll just,
Okay.
you win.
That's what I'm telling you, Lon. Do the push-ups, pull-ups, that's all
I know,
you need,
right?
man.
I need to. But I think it's cool, though, you call her Tay. That's leaving. Oh, good. We need that. There's not many Tays in life, so we need that. We need more of that. All right, you guys are pleasant. You're awesome. I love the fact that you're coming in. Nicole Evans, thank you. Taylor Edwards, thank you. Good luck this Friday. It has been a blast watching you guys all season, and hopefully this will continue for a while. Thank you so much. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, we're back to wrap up the show when we return. It is the Tay and J Show.
It's a familiar place you know. It's a relationship to hold on to. It's a place for families, a part of growing up, and a key to staying healthy. There are warm, friendly faces, people you trust because you know you're in good hands. Because you know there's complete passion, professionalism, and heart. If it's your first time or another visit, you get the care you deserve at Illini Smiles Dental Care. Dr. Shu, Dr. Fott, and Dr. Lou and their team are ready to see you now. Illini Smiles Dental Care, 303 West Springfield Avenue in Champaign. Book your visit online today at IlliniSmilesDentalCare.com. That's IlliniSmilesDentalCare.com. Illini Smiles Dental Care. We love to see you smile.
Need new tires? How would you like to save $200 on a set of 4 select Goodyear tires? Right now at CarX Tire and Auto, get up to $200 in savings when you purchase a set of 4 Goodyear tires and use the CarX Drive Card credit card. Your Champaign CarX man has the right tires for your vehicle at any of his 3 convenient locations. And now up to $200 off. Stop in, call, or schedule online at CarX.com.
Don't worry, call the CarX man.
See store for details.
Are you dreaming of a summer vacation? If you want to find the best vacation rental at the best price, it's time to stop dreaming and start booking. Hi, I'm Jen O'Neill.
And I'm Jeff Manheimer.
And we're the founders of Tripping.com, the world's largest site for vacation rentals.
With more than 10 million vacation rentals to choose from, Tripping.com makes it easy to find the perfect beach house, lake house, or condo for your big summer vacation.
And because Tripping.com shows you properties from dozens of sites, we know when you're likely to get the best selection of vacation rentals at the best price. For a dream summer vacation, now is the time.
That's right. Popular destinations like Miami, Myrtle Beach, San Diego, and Lake Tahoe are going fast. But with average prices around $99 per night, you can have your own multi-bedroom home with parking and a pool for way less than you might expect.
So don't miss your chance. Book now to get the best place at the best price in your dream destination. Go to tripping.com and find your happy place today.
That's TRIPPING.com.
To find the perfect place to stay, go to tripping.com today.
Coach Mike Ditka is not just talking sports. What will he say next? Hear him here Monday and Friday mornings from 7:30 to 8 with Brother Johnny and me, Stevie J, on ESPN Radio 93.5.
All right, I was getting pitching lessons from Taylor Edwards.
Getting the rise ball. How do you throw that thing?
How do you throw that again? That's awesome. All right, Tay and J Show, Lonte, Jeremy Warner. You know me. Anytime I get a chance, Malcolm Hill came in. Yeah. The golfers come in. I mean, those guys, I just love all the athletes. They're so fun to talk to. And Nicole and Taylor are just two great representatives of the University of Illinois.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoy that when we get those people in. And we thank the Illinois Athletic Department for getting them in. We need to get Alex Vukic in here. After talking with Brad Dancer, man, we do not talk about him.
We don't.
I think we do a great job. We've talked about Nicole.
Without a doubt.
Talked about Isaiah Martinez for how long. We talk about the golfers and gymnasts sometimes, but they've been hurt a little bit these past couple of years. But we have not shown Alex Vukic enough love for being the
number.
He
may not come in. Yeah. He may be the first athlete that ever said, nope, I'm not doing it.
Do you think he actually knows,
no.
The Tay and J Show is?
No.
Neither do I.
I doubt he does.
You guys have disrespected me for so long.
Harry, did you know what the Tay and J Show was before you did? Okay, that's pretty impressive. Yeah, there was a time about 2 years ago where all of a sudden it hit me one day. I'm like, I wonder if any of the Illini athletes ever even listen to us.
Plus, Vukic is a good-looking kid from Australia.
I know. He's going to have a great accent.
Come on. The women are going to swoon for it.
Oh, why aren't you? We'll have like a
line
outside.
We'll get the female demographic coming in. Sweeps week. Is that a thing in radio?
I don't think it is. I'm sure it is. All of our windows, there'll be like crowds of women just watching Alex Vukic.
I mean, he's 93-12 in his career.
Yeah.
Right.
Is he Adam Walton?
Oh, man.
He's no Adam Walton, is he? That little punk. I remember that day going to talk to those guys, and I'm like, really?
Who would be your number one dude draft pick?
That's him. I mean, Adam Walton, my goodness. Come on. Well, then the baseball players were giving him grief, giving him heck about that. That was awesome. Well, that was fun. And, of course, Friday at 11 a.m., Illinois and Marshall. It's a double elimination, I'm almost positive, in the NCAA. So that's a Kentucky regional. They're down in Lexington. So if you get a chance, or if you're down in the Kentucky area and get a chance this weekend to watch them, I'd love to do that. I'd love to drive down and watch a couple of games. But this team has a legitimate shot of getting out of that regional, and it would be fun.
Wonderly's been a workhorse for them. And that's one thing with softball. You don't got to worry as much about the arm,
right?
And resting it. They can go back to back. But Taylor's going to be a big part of that team at some point.
They're going to need her.
Nicole didn't have a great Big Ten tournament, but she's a phenomenal hitter. And
she's due.
That was a good question for you. You put some pressure on yourself when you're this All-American, Big Ten, all Big Ten player.
No doubt.
That put some pressure on you to perform. Just be yourself.
Yep, I agree.
Do your job.
I agree. Brianna Wonderly, by the way, not a strikeout pitcher.
Yeah.
So that puts a little extra pressure, obviously, on the defense, because in softball, a lot of times you get people that just live on the strikeouts.
Yeah.
So that makes the defense play, but they've got plenty of speed and plenty of D.
All right, tonight, Red Sox Cardinals, Eduardo Rodriguez against Lance Lynn. You'll hear it here loud and clear on ESPN Radio 93.5. We haven't talked much about it. But
under Lance Lynn pitches after 500.
After 5?
After 5 innings.
If I gave you 93.5.
Oh, I'm going over without a doubt.
Okay.
I'm giving you 100. I think he's going to reach 100.
I'll go under that.
Okay. We'll check that out tonight.
I'll go with the under.
Okay.
If you want to see the Cubs, they're taking on the Cincinnati Reds. Start of a 10-game homestand. John Lackey and Bronson Arroyo, yes, he's still pitching.
Here's what I want to see tonight. And Austin, don't get mad. Don't get mad. Here's what I want to see tonight. Your Cubs are still going to win the division. I want to see the Cubs lose tonight, like on the start of this 10 game, and just
8 of 10,
and just the entire world just blows up. Like, no!
I mean, San Francisco has won 4 straight.
Oh,
and they're coming up later this homestand next week.
And Joey Votto, I mean, he hits well at Wrigley.
Cincinnati can rake.
Yeah, they can.
You got some good hitters.
We're scared.
Then Milwaukee, they're hot right now.
Oh, Thames, he'll live on that pitch.
Yeah, Garza's having a great year.
John Lackey's older than me.
And then if you want to see Mike Trout go deep against Derek Holland, you can see that tonight.
Sweet.
9:07 start.
Is that in Chicago?
No, it's in the L.A.
Never mind. Oh, you said the start time. I should have. All right, thanks to our guests today. I'll start with the softball players. Nicole Evans, also Taylor Edwards. That was fun. Michael Weisenberg, NBADraft.net, talked NBA Draft Lottery. That's tonight. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, Gabe Darmond from PowerMizzou.com. Asked him about Missouri athletics going on right now. All right, we'll see everybody tomorrow. Maybe I'm heading over to golf, I believe. So hopefully Jeremy and I may be over there for the NCAA Regional. Illinois, let's recap it real quick. Illinois, 5 shots back with 1 round to go, 118 to go. But last year they were in the same basically situation, and they're fine.
And they won it.
They
won the regional.
So it'll be interesting to see. Mike Small is coaching them up right now as we speak. So we'll keep you up to speed on that as well. Everybody have a great night. Cardinal Baseball's next. Tay and J Show.
You want what's best for your family, and what's better than a home equity loan or line of credit with no closing costs? Apply for a home equity loan or line at First Financial Bank before June 3rd, and you'll pay no closing costs. Remodel the house, get a pool for the kids, buy a new car, take a vacation. Whatever your family needs, your home's equity can make it happen, and First Financial makes it affordable. What could be better than that? Offer subject to credit approval. Property insurance required. Valid on applications before June 3rd. Other restrictions may apply. See first-online.com/equity for details. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
Our Stevie J Broadcasting Law Enforcement Official of the Month, brought to you by F.E. Moran Security Solutions. Ladies and gentlemen, our Law Enforcement Official of the Month from Stevie J Broadcasting is Officer Dan Ward, Senior Patrol Officer, Champaign Police. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for what you do. You're also wonderful. I just can't get over it. Why does Dan Ward love what he does?
That's a good question, and it's a complicated question. I think the simplest thing is, no matter what, you get to go out there and you either get to help people, which is great, and it happens every day at least, usually if you try, or at the worst, you get to help somebody through the worst day of their life. And both those things are good, and both those things have their place, and you're ultimately serving. So
our Stevie J Broadcasting Law Enforcement Official of the Month is Dan Ward, Senior Patrol Officer for the Champaign Police Department. Brought to you by F.E. Moran Security Solutions.
Winning can be fun, and we love giving away free stuff, but we want to make sure it's fair for everyone. So here are the rules when competing to win on ESPN 93.5. No purchase necessary. Prize must be collected within 30 days during business hours, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. at 2702 Boulder in Urbana. ESPN Radio assumes no liability due to circumstances beyond our control, and any prize may be substituted with a prize of equal or greater value. Winners are liable for any taxes, tips, or other miscellaneous charges associated with the prize. All contestants must have a valid ID and social security number. Our judges' decisions are final and reserve the right to end any contest at any time for any reason without notice. In the event that a contestant is found to be ineligible for a prize, said prize will not be awarded. And if you win, we reserve the right to use your likeness or voice on the radio or online, and any winners must wait 30 days to win again. Get a complete list of rules and more information on any contest on ESPN Radio at ESPNCU.com. Those are the rules, and good luck from ESPN 93.5.
You're listening to WSJK ESPN 93.5 Tuscola, Champaign, Urbana, your home for the St. Louis Cardinals.